She's not signed up.
Okay.
That doesn't mean she won't be here.
I understand.
There you go. And then you'll just have to let.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, the participant guide is in kwpmresources.com in the Ignite folder.
Okay.
And so it's right here, so they can,
Do they know that already? Did they already downloaded it or what have you?
doubtful.
I got it open.
And then we have our A student over here.
No,
Overachiever.
definitely not.
There's always at least one.
Okay, I have a picture of
Oh, no.
you yesterday holding court with all the ladies
And my wine glass.
in your wine glass.
Oh, gosh.
Awesome.
I definitely got tipsy playing golf yesterday.
Did you?
And they were all like, dude, you need to eat some bread. You gotta soak that up.
I stayed a little bit for the meeting after the meeting with the Tile Gals and Michael and
The meeting after the meeting?
meeting after the meeting.
Yeah.
Michael and Crystal and two Tile Gals and Wes stuck around for a bit too, so.
Good.
Yeah, the meeting after the meeting.
Oh, yeah, there was like, what, 20 of us still left? I think.
For a bit, yeah, and then we
Yeah.
went down, when everybody left, we went down to the bar and went out.
Oh, did you?
You gotta be very careful what you say yes to when Michael's.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's like, hey, let's grab another drink. I'm like, dude, it's Tuesday. He's like, one more, all right.
Amy, you'll have to show me that picture.
I will.
That's funny. Oh, man.
Good morning. Hey, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Zach.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Doing very well.
Just feels so out of place. I'm going in my office.
Yeah, that.
So I just moved into that office, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
And when we moved in, Bonnie didn't have keys to it, so we went to get keys made. So she got keys made and I walked in one day and she handed it to me and I was like, great, I sat on my bookshelf, forgot about it. One for me, one for you.
How's it going, man?
Good, how you doing?
Good, I'm Zach.
Dave.
Dave, pleasure. Nice to meet you.
My door's locked. And Amy's on a call at 7:30 and I'm like, I cannot get in.
Oh, no, that's just about right for first
That
day
is
of
the
Ignite, right?
most real estate thing ever.
Yes,
I haven't talked to anyone at Ignite in like 4 years in the damn.
not to be like all segregated boys and girls, but I need a plug, so I'm gonna sit
No,
here.
it's a problem, you know, when you need a plug.
Yeah, I'm risking it here with that. I might get it all. So that-
Oh, dude, as soon as my computer is fully charged, I'll send it over.
I unlocked
I'm
your
fully
door.
charged. So it usually will give me a
We'll
day.
tell him that,
Oh,
just let him sweat a little
About
bit.
I should, right?
Okay.
Amy,
Yeah.
does the clicker work for all
Cause I
our
got this one, like,
PowerPoints or no?
Maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay,
Depends
so
on the
so that
day.
good,
So
that
yeah,
good.
yeah, but you know, is it
So,
all out
That's
of
not
six?
very
So
thirty.
it's-
I think mine goes
that's
like
pretty
2.5
much what I'm
hours
saying.
and I'm like 25%. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's just an offer.
Look at this
Well-
funny guy wearing like
Is
the
there a
Tommy
button?
Bahama, what's
I
up with that?
know.
Are you trying to be iconic?
That's awesome.
I woke up and I was like, let's
That's
drive
amazing.
today.
Let's go, look, it's making it great.
Granted, I always wake up at
But
4:30
yeah,
every
yeah.
morning, but this morning I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
I don't want to sit in the chair for 4 hours. I
so
gotta go for a
excited.
jog. So I took my dog
Thank
for
you.
a run.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like, come
welcome.
on, dude, let's go.
Love it. No, you look nice. I'm just teasing.
Thanks. I felt a little out of place, to be honest with you.
Hey,
It is
love
what it is.
My fiance loves shirts like that.
Yeah. I mean-
Yeah, does she try to force them on you? Like, oh, look, another gift of a.
It's like, yeah, I look very much like I'm either in Cancun or something. I'm like,
I don't think I've met you yet. What's your name?
my name's Dave. And
Dave?
so, yeah, I'm relative. I just started the whole onboarding process.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm pretty new too. I
Okay.
Started in
The
June.
deal you just finished, you are not new.
Yeah, that's right. The deal that I just went through with Ricky, it was like probably, 10 years worth of
Yeah, that was
experience like
advanced,
this in
that was
one.
advanced real estate.
Really?
Like everything that was complicated, like.
4
oh,
hours
this can happen,
away,
or this can happen,
boom,
or you're like, oh.
Foundation, title company that didn't want to communicate with her.
They didn't, the first buyer or seller didn't want to release the earnest check. I thought we were gonna have litigation through, like
Yeah,
it
like
was.
that was
You got
definitely
everything.
some
I
advanced.
got everything. Not everything, I'm sure there's a lot more. I
Oh,
shouldn't say
sure,
that right.
sure.
Ricky.
Well, you don't want to challenge the real estate gods.
That's right.
But,
Real estate
but
Yes.
but that was for your first one that wasn't your own, was
The doozy.
super tricky.
But now you know how to handle it.
But now I know, that's right.
You call Ricky
I'm
and
like-
freak out, right?
You stay the hell away from Sterling. That's what you do.
Yeah, stay out at Sterling. Right, like I got my license in 2022 or 2021, and my first deal was in 1986. A little tough.
Before I was born, oh, that makes me
Oh my God.
just want to
Oh my
hide.
gosh.
Not me. I was born in 86. You have that.
No, you're old when when I find out how old people are, the first thing I do is compare them to how old my driver's license is.
Yes, right.
If my driver's license is older than 75% of the age of population around this joint.
Oh my gosh. We keep you young, Ricky.
You actually have no idea how true that is.
Yeah.
I love doing this. We're gonna get into that real early this morning.
So Dave, are you new to us or new to real
No,
estate?
both, yeah, I was in higher education, I was a college professor over at Johnson Wales University.
Oh, so
And
cool.
they closed the campus, and we were part of the,
That's so cool.
higher education got decimated during
With COVID?
Oh, I mean, higher education got this worse than hospitality. There was and I know it wasn't reported, so no one knows that.
Right.
But in the Chronicle of Higher Education, they said that it was a report that came out. Higher ed across the country lost more jobs in 2020 than all the jobs they added the previous 10 years combined.
Oh my
I mean, so you got
word.
wandering PhDs going from coast to
Yeah.
coast. DU had a job open last April, I believe. PhD required English professor, that's not my field, but one of my colleagues, former colleagues, she was looking at it, $55,000.
Oh my God.
The
Excuse me?
supply outweighs demand. So
Oh.
DU that costs 60,000 a year in tuition is hiring people for 55,000 to teach their
Oh, my
students. and so
word.
forth.
That is.
Wow,
I mean, and so you're like,
I can see why you're here.
yeah, well, there's no real jobs. I mean, you know, and community college is even worse, 40 to 50,000 dollars. And then you're sitting there like, and then you got 100 people applying for all those jobs.
Right.
And of course, they're gonna get younger, you
Yeah.
know, and so,
Because the older people want, pay
you
for
know,
rent.
yeah, and so, yeah.
Can everybody on Zoom hear me? Can anyone on
Close
Zoom hear
down the
me?
whole Johnson Wales.
not
I
the-
can hear you.
not the-
I can hear you.
Okay, now I gotta figure out how I can hear you.
Providence flagship
Hold, please.
closed, Denver and Miami.
We gotta go get the
No
tech coordinator.
And, but when you look at mathematics, the most we ever had was like 1,500 students. So the money you're giving back to the province, okay? You know, I don't know what that number is. They sold the campus for around 60 million. They bought it for 30 million.
I can start touching buttons if you open
No,
it.
don't.
I know.
Yeah, the real estate.
Rule number one in my
market
business
is
is
Denver,
doesn't touch
Oh.
man.
Denver and
Yeah.
That is
That's
rule
why
one.
they kept Charlotte.
That's crazy.
Yes, that is rule one.
So.
I went in one time to look up a phone number and I triplicated the contact.
And you know.
And Nikki was like, stop it.
You're done.
You're done.
Sure.
She's like, if you go in there again, I will figure out a way to change your password. So I don't go in.
So Miami.
All right, can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Awesome.
they
I
are.
bet.
So we have three in
Well, we're glad
Zoom,
you're here.
Yeah.
right? And we have 3 in person. I'm not a math whiz, but that seems pretty close to 50.
Yay.
All right, we're 5 after, we'll get started. If anybody hears the Zoom doorbell, let me know, because I have to admit them,
Okay.
please. All right, I'm gonna start with kind of a little bit about who I am, and then I'm gonna let Gwen introduce herself as well. That'll make more sense in about 30 minutes. My name is Ricky Garris. I have been a realtor since 2012. I've been in this market center since early 2013. I have been an agent. I've been the productivity coach for 3 years, 2013 to 2014. I spent the 6 longest months of my life as the TL. Decided I was the way wrong person for that role. And went back to slinging homes at the end of September. Beginning of September of 2017. I decided at that point, I wanted to get out of the market center for a couple of weeks. Because I went from PC to TL literally over a weekend. Like I left Friday as the PC and I came back Monday as the TL. So I've been in a leadership role for like 4 years and I wanted people to see me, hey, he's an agent. So I was gonna go away for 2 weeks, clear my head, get all squared away, come back as an agent. I was gonna come back the Tuesday after Labor Day 2017. I got a phone call Sunday of Labor Day that my dad had passed away out of the blue. It was a mess. No will at the house, the oldest of 4 siblings, the only one in real estate. So we had to do probate and dealt with all of that. We were in no huge hurry, so that took about 5 months. So I took the rest of that off. I came back in April of 2018 and hit the ground running as an agent. We'll talk about what the ALC is. I've been an ALC member 7 of the last 8 years. And transparency, I'm part owner of the market center now. Originally, when this came out, the ALC members are the first group of people that we reach out to say, hey, can you help us teach Ignite? I spent about 25–30% of my life in Wisconsin. For my girlfriend, I had to go out of state to find a significant other. Everyone in Colorado was done with me. So she lives in Wisconsin. She has 2 kids there. So it's not realistic for her to move here yet. So I spend about 25% of my time there on her 7.5 acres with the pigs and the horses and the kids. And I sign my emails, Ricky the Realtor, EIEIO. She spends about 25% of her time here. So it's about a 50-50 thing. So when they ask ALC members, hey, we're teaching Ignite again, and they sent out the teaching schedule. What was important to me were the dates. What day was I going to be that I could help teach? It just so happened that day 1 worked out well. And after Gwen kind of introduces herself, I'll tell you all why. So Gwen, give them your resume.
Okay, if everybody can hear me, I'm gonna kind of yell because I cannot get my Bluetooth to connect. So I got licensed in 2018 and had been doing real estate from 2002 to 2010. No, 08. And I was helping people who were in foreclosure. That was my jam. I was not licensed. I was one of those door knockers. Going out to see people at their home who were in trouble. Some of those people were not happy I was there. But we saved a lot of people from losing their credit. They were already losing their home. But we did help those people not lose their credit, which was a good thing. So I stopped doing that. And in 2018 or so, when one of the girls that I went to church with, she's like, hey, have you ever thought about getting your license? And I said, nope, because in my line of business, if you were licensed, there's a lot more oversight that way. Not that I was doing anything illegal, but there's like this disclosure and that disclosure and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, no, I don't want any part of it. And then I gave it some more thought after talking with her about kind of what her business looked like. And I discovered that this business would not only get us out of some business dealings that went sideways, upside down, squirrely. Oh, it was, ugh. Don't fix and flip out of state. There's lesson number 1 from Gwen.
Ignite 1, don't flip out of state.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't do it. So after chatting with her, I thought, wait a minute, the upside is the money, which is what's why you would flip out of state, is the money. And the risk is way less. So I figured I have a pretty high risk tolerance where my husband does not. So I was willing to go ahead and jump in there
0 risk.
and get my license and just run. And here we are. So as Rookie of the Year, my first year, that was 1 foot in the other brokerage, which is a small little brokerage, meaning the broker, me, and 3 other people who didn't do anything. They had other jobs and other commitments and whatnot. So it wasn't necessarily their fault, but it was fun to run with her. She was trained by Donna. So when she decided to go out of the country and thought, oh, I'll just leave Gwen to just flounder by herself. I was like, no, thank you. I need somebody who can walk me through. I did, I think 9 deals with her in that first year. And I mean, I'm like straight out of the gate, I was doing stuff and I still recognized fully that I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, like every deal is different, right, Ricky? So I was like, oh my God, no, I need some oversight. I need some coaching. I need help. So I immediately reached out to, well, by some stroke of, God, Donna and Ryan Davis were at Smedra and I happened to be there. And he was
running
talking.
into Ryan is a sign from God.
No, it was Donna. No.
All right.
But
Just being clear.
might have been, and maybe I mistook that and I should have been running instead. No, I'm teasing. So I left that going, maybe I should look at what they're doing because that's where my broker actually started and with Donna and all this. Oh, and I won something that day. Big surprise. If y'all don't know, I'm a winner. So I met with Donna and decided to come to the office and here we are. From there, I guess the first year I was in the productivity coaching for 1.5 years, and then I went to MAPS. My intention was I believe that everybody needs a coach. Everybody who's successful, if you look at successful people, they have coaches. Michael Jordan, when he was on the court, he had a coach, and I guarantee you he still has a coach, and it's a financial coach. Because
Gary Keller has at least 6 coaches that we know of.
Right. So if that's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. So that's exactly where I wanted to be. And I would be in productivity coaching until I felt comfortable going into MAPS coaching. So that's where I am now. Been on ALC. I was a reserve last year, and this year I'm a voting member, and I love it. I love the office, and I think that's what Ricky and I want to tell you about.
We love our job in the office so much that there's not a real hard start date, but we're rolling this out and making the public announcement right now. Productivity coaching program is changing 170 degrees, and Gwen and I are now the co-productivity coaches. All right, thank you.
Who said yay? Was it Lisa?
Yes.
Yay!
The idea behind the coaching program is kind of what Gwen said, but we want to build a program where we help coach people into being productive real estate agents and get you on the path, whatever path that's going to be in real estate, via education, support, learning opportunities, some teaching. The big difference, I think, in real estate versus other types of industries is there's a big difference between coaching and teaching. You know that. I can teach you 2 and 2 is 4. If I can coach you on how to figure out yourself that 2 and 2 is 4, now you know it. And it will allow you to choose your path down in real estate easier and quicker. Right? We're going to have a very robust calendar. We have very specific goals in mind for the coaching program. The expectation is anybody who joins Keller Williams that's not already a capping agent will be in the coaching program. We can't require it. Everybody in this room is a 1099 contractor, right? We can set expectations and we can urge people, can't make them do it because then they're employees. And that's not how we build businesses around. We are all together in business with everybody else. Bunch of real estate owners. We're all med professionally with everyone else, right? You get both of us as your coaches. She'll take care of some of it. I will take care of some of it. You will, I'm a big believer in transparency up front. The cost is going to be 10% of every commission, every transaction you do goes into pay your coaches. That's what we get paid. Half of that is going to be paid by the market center, half is paid by you guys. The market center is so much behind this program that we're building, they're willing to pay half of our commissions out of the market center money to help build productive capping agents. Happy, productive capping agents never leave Keller Williams. I want you to keep in mind a couple of things, especially when I'm the one in front of the room. I understand the MREA, the MREI, all the Keller classes I've taken them, I've taught a bunch of them. My opinions are not always in alignment with those of Keller Williams. For years, Keller Williams was known as a training company that happened to be in real estate. Every year, Keller Williams was voted the best training across all platforms in any industry in the world, like every year. To the point where, you know, Sports Illustrated stories they used to do every year, the top 10 party schools. What did they do with Arizona State? They said, you guys are so good, we're not even gonna grade you anymore, you're in the Hall of Fame. They did. They did that with the Keller Williams training platform. 5 years ago, Gary said, no, you know what, we're gonna become a tech company. I'm gonna build Command, and we're gonna become a tech company that has to do, that happens to be in real estate. And I think we've had a hole in our business plan for a while, and we've gotten away from the training. And Gwen and I, our intention is to put that back on the map. And we want to be the biggest, most robust, deepest coaching program in the region to start. And that is our intention. This decision was really made a week ago when I was having a conversation with Michael Lee, who is our OP, which means he's the one that paid the bill yesterday at Topgolf. And I basically told him we're doing this. And he was like, really? And I'm like, yes. And like, just, I love you, get out of my way. We'll put the program together the way it should have been put together and been run the last 5 years and the way it used to be. And we're gonna train the shit out of some agents. And we're gonna teach people how to do real estate in a legal and quick manner and help you and coach you through how do you want to do it. There are an infinite amount of ways to fill out a contract. One's going to show you her way sometimes, I'll show you my way sometimes. The end of the deal is, it's up to you. What do you want your business to look like? How do you want to do it? Right? We're going to help teach you the legal ramifications. But as real estate coaches, it's not our job to teach you right from wrong. It's our job to give you as much information and empower you to make those decisions for your business. At the end of the day, it's your business and yours and yours and yours and yours and everybody owns it. Right? To empower and be a resource and a support system for you through education, accountability, and just general knowledge, right? Between the two of us, we've been in the industry on some level for 30 some years. We've been on the planet for over a century between us.
Hey,
I'm 65, 70% of that, I know. What do you want to add, Gwen?
nothing. I like it. I think that, I guess we'll be building out the calendar.
Yep.
So like kind of as we go, you know, the first thing obviously is Ignite and plugging into this because it is terrific. This is really your foundation is right here in Ignite. And then we can take pieces of Ignite and then start to expand on it. So I think it's going to be terrific. I really hope that you guys will love it. Advisor, somebody might say, oh, what about my advisor? Tony's like, what? I don't get to call Gwen anytime? Yes. To some degree, that is still true. But the advisor program, should you opt into this program, which is more robust, will go away.
The transaction partner program was designed to help you with contracts. Right? Coaching is going to be all of it. It's going to be lead gen. It's going to be setting up your business, right? I forgot how excited I get when I see other people do little things that are successful. Lisa told me yesterday, I got my EIN, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah, it
I've
is.
been 6 years. Don't do that. I closed a business when I got into real estate and still took 6 years to go get my EIN. Go get your EIN. You've got to do this as a business from day one, or you're like me. And to this minute, I am paying $700 a month to the IRS because I didn't even file taxes for 5 years.
Okay, so I will
I'm going out
throw
teaching
in
people to buy
there,
a house and I can't because I. What, Gwen?
talk to your CPA.
Because
Because your S corp doesn't matter until you're making a certain amount of money, and then you're just spending to file a piece of paper that isn't necessarily right. Is it Augustine? Is that how you say it? Oh, wait, I can't hear you. You're muted.
I should have put, it's Melissa, so sorry.
Oh.
I should have logged in
Yay.
as myself. I'm so sorry.
I know, I
That's
wrote that
I've never
down and
seen
I was like,
Melissa,
wait,
so-
who? Got it,
Is my
Melissa.
video on?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't even know I wasn't even logged in as myself. I'm logged in as my husband. Hello.
Oh, got it.
Okay, well, at any rate, yes, I do have a quick question. So this program then encompasses basically the foundation and all, and if we sign up, this is basically coaching us from the ground up to help us get started. And I guess what I'm trying to understand is it helps us do all of it, right?
It's the whole enchilada.
Yeah,
Shebang.
because I think, I was talking to Adrian and I think I got it confused, when she was helping me with the contracts piece of it.
Yep.
And when I got online and I started talking to her, I was thinking of, coaching and asking tons of questions. And she was like, oh, wait, stop. She was like, this is just for contracts piece of it.
Yeah,
So definitely. Okay, perfect. That's what I
Yeah.
was. Yeah, no, this is
Yes.
excellent.
No,
This
I
is excellent.
also
I think
realized
you'll love it, Melissa.
Yeah.
when all my brilliant ideas come to me, I realized in the shower this morning, the one person that none of us have talked to, I don't think, is Adrian.
No, I talked to her this morning. I just
You
got off the
did?
phone with her. Yep.
Okay, see, I manifest stuff in the shower.
Yeah,
You did
me
that.
too.
Don't say that again, ever.
Let's clarify one of the rules. We do not have currently an HR department. If you like me around, do not start one. Trust me on that. Do not start one.
It's where all ideas come to fruition, the shower.
That's so true. It's so true.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah.
Oh, this is excellent. Okay.
So what we would like to do is maybe next week, when we want to have like a 1 hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour meeting with everybody and really go deep and explain what the program is.
Yeah.
And what it's going to look like. We were hoping to get it done this week, but the calendar's not quite ready yet. It's close. So by the end of business Friday, maybe we'll have picked a time next week where we would like everyone to come in person. And we'll just go over what that program, what it's gonna look like. Here's our calendar. Here's why you want to be a part of it. One of the things that is super important to both of us, it actually may be the most important thing, is this. We are an open company. We're a transparent company. If you want to see any number on the market center side, any of the financials, just walk into Bonnie's office and she'll show you whatever you want to know. We're transparent throughout, right? All our trainings are transparent, but we want to create an exclusive group. One of the things that we will have is at least one group session a week. But it's just for the agents in our coaching program, and it's an exclusive group. Right, unless it's some reason that we're doing something where we invite a different agent to kind of lead it, like Ryan Davis maybe. It's an exclusive group. If you're on the coaching program, we love you and you can come back in an hour. We want to create an environment that is for our agents that are in the coaching program. If Gary Keller himself walked in, I'd be like, great, that's really scary, and you can come back in an hour. Because we're going to protect our group of people. Anything else you want to add to that, Glenn?
No, I love it. I hope that you guys all see the value and our heart behind this. We're gonna put some fun in it. So,
We will do that.
laugh, trip around, make some mistakes.
Rule number
Cleanup
2
crew.
is, I believe everybody in real estate cries. If you're gonna cry, come to my desk, do not go to Gwen's. She can't handle it. She'll tell you that. She'll send you home or to my desk. So just come to my desk, I'll have tissues. Right?
See, make me sound like a heartless person.
No, I wish I had a little more of that in my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're just gonna get business done.
Yep. In the meantime, if you guys have questions, just ask us. And we'll be happy to answer whatever questions you got. But
Yeah, I'm gonna put my contact information in the Zoom, in the chat.
Yep, I'll make sure you all have that before they get online, they can see it in the chat. Her office is in the other hall on the inside, well, inside, mine's on the outside part. It's the one where if you walk into the glass door, look on the bookshelf, you can see the keys to the locked door. Exactly what we start tonight. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gwen, for being here. Gwen was gonna be your person, but she's got photos for listings. She's
Yep.
So.
Show off.
Yep. I'm gonna be muted. I'm gonna be muted, Ricky. I'll be here.
Okay.
You'll be up until
Yep.
I have to leave. So holler if you want me to interject. Otherwise,
Will
I'm
do.
not.
All right, thanks, Gwen.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. I'm
Thanks,
looking
Gwen.
forward to this.
All right, you guys ready to kick off your real estate careers?
Let's send
Where's
it.
Gwen's listing? Do you know?
It's in the Meadows in Castle Rock.
Okay.
Four.
Yep.
Bedroom.
It's
All right.
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath,
3-bed.
3-bedroom?
3-bedroom. Cute, super
I
cute.
wanna- All right. Well, maybe we'll sell it for you today while you're getting photos taken.
Yes, please.
All right.
It's
the
Gonna be
next thing-
vacant 2
Next
weeks.
thing I want to do is, I want you guys to introduce yourselves and give yourself a little bit of background. I will teach some of these classes, Gwen will, Adrian will be here to teach a couple of days worth.
Perfect.
You guys are the ones that will be here every day. So I want you to take a minute to just kind of introduce yourself, tell us about you. And while you're at it, just for fun, I want you to tell me what's the last thing you took a photo of with your phone. I don't want to see it. Don't show me. For the love of everything good, don't. I want to know what it was. And I want to start with my people in Zoom. So Melissa, can you go first?
It's getting real vulnerable.
It is gonna get real.
That's funny. Yes, I can go first.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Okay, tell me about, okay, so I'm Melissa Moreno. What do you want to know about me? I'll do a quick summary.
What do you want us to know about you?
Okay, ready? I'm old. And I'm gonna
What,
start
your
with
birth
that.
certificates?
Okay, I'm gonna start with that just so that way no one is deceived. Okay, I'm old. I've got a lot of business experience. I have a degree in design management. I have a variety of skills. I did some business analysis back in the day for about 15 years, data analysis, data warehousing. And then I did stay-at-home mom. I was PTO president for years. And then I took some time and decided that real estate back in 2013 was something I wanted to eventually venture into, but I waited for my kids to grow up. And then kind of got divorced and was like, I'm gonna have, okay, this
How
is
do you
personal.
kind of get divorced? Is
I was thinking that too.
that like when I was 22, I was
Okay,
kind of pregnant?
Okay, so I got divorced and was like, I'm gonna have lots of boyfriends, that's personal, but then I decided
Had a girl, I like it.
I'm gonna date, but I don't want any boyfriends or dogs, or not boyfriends. I want lots of boyfriends. I don't want any kids or dogs, any stepkids or dogs. I ended up getting both. That's
That
okay.
works.
Yep, I love them. I love them all. So the stepkids are like 8 and 10. And so
Ooh.
now I'm doing it all over again.
Oh, that sounds like me.
Love ya.
That's
That's
okay.
exactly what
I
it
love them very much and they need me because, they just do in their lives right now. So that's okay. And the thing is that my life is absolutely wonderful. And I'm able to still have a career. And so that's good. And now I'm going to do some real estate and I'm excited about it. But you know what? I did run into an injury though, and that's the reason why I kind of disappeared. So you guys maybe saw me like a few months ago and then poof, I was gone. But yeah, it was kind of hard for a little bit, but now I'm back and
Well,
I'm
we're
excited.
lucky to have you back.
Thanks. I'm excited now. And I have been spending a little bit of time at Smedra, starting up on some classes. And because I'm new to real estate, I decided to take, my strategy is to get certified in the PSA, getting certified in the PSA class. So that way, at least I have some of that under my belt. So I can use it as leverage. So that way, I might be new in real estate, but at least they can see that I have some certifications and maybe clients will trust me a little bit better, but
Cool.
that's me for right now. I don't know.
That's me, so
Very excited. I'm very excited about the Ignite. That way I can learn more. I love to learn. If I could go to school all the time, I would.
tough to pay the bills as a student, though.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So.
All right, Anthony, are you out there, or you just got logged on and that's it?
I'm here.
All right, tell us about you, buddy.
Okay. Hi, my name is Anthony Velasquez. I joined Keller Williams in August, so I've been here for a little bit. Before I joined Keller Williams and got my real estate license, I worked retail. My last job was Costco, and I was there for about 2 years. And then I decided, like, I don't want to work in a warehouse anymore. When I was growing up, I used to live with my great grandma often, and she was in real estate. So I found my love in real estate through her. I just didn't want to do it too early in my life. The last picture I took on my phone was, I was stuck in a hallway. So I was texting my friend saying, hey, Kate, can you come grab me? Because I didn't have a key card.
Stuck in the hallway here?
No. At his apartment complex.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's really not much to talk about with my life because I had a late start to life. I was a very sheltered kid. So I don't
Well,
really
we're
know.
about to rip that Band-Aid off.
I'm really excited for the Ignite program as well. I really want to learn as much as I can so I can progress and move forward with real estate.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I have a dog. That's about
Well,
it.
then do not go to Melissa's house.
Yeah.
All right, Melissa, what's the last thing you took a picture of?
Oh, I took a picture of the college that my son was at when I was picking him up last night down at Metro.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, cool, Zach.
Cool. My name's Zach Christie, born and raised in Philadelphia. I came to Colorado. I was in the Army here down in
Thank you
Fort
for your
Carson.
service.
Thank you, appreciate it. Funny enough, I was actually a heavy haul truck driver, which is a little bizarre because my personality doesn't seem like it. But I came over here right out of college, high school. I got a degree online through a program in the military called Green to Gold, which allows you to attend school and also serve active duty. I kind of went through the whole real estate process back in 2018. I was just in a pretty toxic relationship, and I took the test 5 times and I failed every time. But here we are, and this has been a passion.
Just for clarity, you did eventually pass it.
Yeah.
Were you just like screwing up, you just don't want to see that notice?
Oh man, that's funny. I mean, just all of the bad things that were going on in my life, I kind of put aside, and here we are. Yeah, my degree is in computer engineering. Don't really have any interest in, coding or programming or anything of that nature. And honestly, the last thing that I took a picture of was a selfie of me this morning because I thought I looked damn good. And
Oh, boy.
I love it. That's awesome.
Thank you. But I too have a dog. He's a border collie golden retriever. He runs with me everywhere. I run quite often. And kind of like looking forward to this Ignite class. I'm so ready and excited to get into this industry, and with that millionaire mindset, I'm just ready to power through and make as many connections and friendships and relationships as possible. I might look quite young, but I'm 30 years old and I feel like a 80-year-old man in a 20-year-old body. So here we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the old saying, you spend your 30s fixing everything you broke in your 20s.
It's so
right?
true.
I always joke I want to run for office because I would like to piece together my 30s.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Go ahead.
Sure. My name's Dave Woollever. Joined Keller Williams late August, and coming from higher education, was a college professor. I was going to retire as a college professor, but then my university was shut down by the main campus back in Providence, Rhode Island. They shut down the Denver campus. So I was looking at, I didn't want to leave Colorado. didn't want to leave the fiance. She would have been probably pissed, or happy, who knows? And so-
Never ask the question if you don't already know the answer, right? Never.
Right,
No,
right.
I'm not asking if I don't know.
So it's, but yeah, it's, I wanted to go into a career that would give me the flexibility I had as a college professor, allow me to, put down the accelerator and work as hard as I want, like I did when I taught. I was one of those professors that was always available, did a lot of student orientations, parent orientations in the summer, never got paid for any of that stuff, of course, but you're always available. And so I kind of saw a lot of similarities. Always thought about real estate when I was teaching, and that would have been the ideal, because I had my summers off and I could have actually done both. And so was always interested in that, had some good experiences with real estate agents, sold my house in Alabama because I used to be in the military. I was in the Air Force.
Thank you
And
for
so
your
I
service.
appreciate that. And that's what really
Moving up
brought,
as a soldier over here.
yeah. Right. He's
Not
the
very-
soldier.
Funny
not
that
very-
they
not
sat next
very-
to each other, right?
Yeah.
It's like maybe those sailors running around the Colorado area.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and that's really what brought me out to Colorado to begin with. I actually was, I'm probably, I might be the oldest person in this whole thing here. But again, the fiance does Botox, so that's what this is about. And so it's,
Keep her around.
she's fantastic. And so no, I was stationed at Angela Air Base during 9/11. And so then I got PCS to teach at the Air Force Academy. And that's what brought me to Colorado. It's just beautiful. And then they PCS me to Alabama, where I have my house, which is not Colorado. And and so, but yeah, and so that's the whole thing here. You mentioned political office. I'm running for the Colorado House of Representatives right now.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's but it is. You got to know what you believe. I mean, because
You
you're
better be able to stand strong in it, right?
you're going to get challenged on a lot of things,
Yeah.
and you're going to, from no matter what your party, both parties,
Sure.
voters are going to come
Yep.
at you. And so, and especially if you happen to be very moderate, because you're going to be attacked by the extremists of both parties. So,
Sure.
but anyway, and so that has really expanded my network, which I think will probably help in this business as well.
Sure.
And so I guess, to wrap it up, I got 2 dogs, 2 long-haired dachshunds.
We got a whole bunch of people that ain't coming to your house.
Love dogs. And so, but no, it's
Here come the cat extremists,
Right.
right?
That's okay. I love dogs now.
Yeah, good. There you go. That's
I
awesome.
love dogs.
She's
I know-
been reformed.
Yeah,
I have my own now.
that's awesome.
Gwen's from Alabama too, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was
She
in
just don't talk like
yeah, right. It's so, but I guess the last picture I took, probably of my Jeep Wrangler. So
Boy,
it's,
Love it.
so there you
that.
go.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Hi, my name is Marnie Berry. I joined Keller Williams last August, also around August. I moved in Colorado in 2014. I'm originally from the Philippines. And I have 2 kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 10-month-old.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm stay at home for the last 5 years, so this
I
is
got
my
a
chance to
10-month-old
go out.
already.
So,
Adult conversation.
yes,
right?
so I don't know. I'm just doing part-time right now because I don't really have so much time, but next year I'm planning to put my kid in
Yep.
childcare so I can do full-time. And the last picture I took is my 5-year-old. I always take a picture of her before she leaves for school every day.
Oh.
Yes, so
That's cute.
That's awesome.
I love
When I was 5, my mom was like, get out.
that.
Little dang picture.
she likes it too, so.
Yeah. Are you gonna do like a collage when she's 18 of like all the pictures?
Yes, I want to do it like at the end of the school year, like all of that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So,
Thank you.
Ricky, Nikki's in the waiting room.
sorry.
Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, especially meeting too. And dogs, we don't have dogs because she's allergic. So.
And we found one.
And we don't want to go out in the snow or walking on the dog.
Yes, no, like,
So,
and
yeah.
we've got 2 little ones. That's hard.
Yes.
That's why I don't have dogs right now.
So that's it for me.
Cool. Lisa?
I am Lisa Love, and I got my real estate license in October of last year, so it's just been a year. I was in Arizona when I got licensed there, and my husband's family is all here, so we decided to come back to Colorado. So when I got my license here in Colorado, I joined Keller Williams in June, and with Donna's help, purchased our home here in Colorado. And then I just, I think tomorrow is our official closing day. I close with my first buyer tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Yay.
I found her on Facebook, you guys, like I just troll Facebook. She was posting in like a neighborhood group asking about property management companies because she thought that she was gonna rent. And so I just reached out and said, hey, why are you renting? You should be buying. And she did.
That's pretty cool.
The stuff you will learn here will work.
Yeah. So my background is nursing. I've been a nurse for about 12 years. And, obviously with everything that happened with COVID, I kind of reevaluated my life and my priorities. And again, as much, as you have said, I wanted the flexibility to put the accelerator down when I want to and put the brakes on when I want to. And so real estate, I've always been kind of that nerd that wants to, stop at the open houses and HGTV and all that good stuff. So
Do all that.
I think
I'm
we
an
will.
underwater umbrella salesman and my wife's an out of work insurance salesman for turtles and our budget's $4 million.
Yeah.
Love HGTV.
Yes, I love that. I think we'll probably get into this later. We talk about what our big why is.
Yeah. It's coming up shortly.
And well, I'll just help segue. For me, it's like I firmly believe that I was put on this earth to be of service to other people. And I like to kind of be that advocate for people and to teach them and help them, understand and be that kind of guiding light. So it's just kind of different, real estate and nursing, but ultimately, like I'm here to help you and serve you. And I'm just happy to be here. And I'm happy for Ignite because I feel like it's going to help me like focus. I've been here since June and there's like so many bits and pieces of information. And so I'm really hoping that this is going to help me like focus my efforts and really make a clear business plan.
One of the goals that we have is when you get into real estate, it is literally drinking from a fire hose.
Yes.
And kind of our job as coaches and leaders of Ignite is to try to break it down into at least gulpable size drinks, right? Until you decide which direction you want to go. What's the last thing you took a picture of?
My naked 2-year-old in the bathtub last night.
I like it.
Talk about manifesting.
Ready? All right, one more. Two more actually. Nikki's in now.
My name is Solomon. I recently started Keller.
You just signed last week, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yay, Solomon.
Welcome to the circus.
Thank you. That's pretty much my background. Coming from Coldwell, I didn't really have too much success over there, so I'm hoping to turn a new page.
Nice.
So,
How long have you been in real estate?
I started in June of last year,
Okay.
but really haven't had too much success.
Yet. You will. They're it's like Edison, right? I didn't fail 2,000 times. I found 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb, right?
Oh, so true.
It's the last thing you took a picture of.
My dog.
Cool. More people not coming to Melissa's house. I don't like it. Nikki, will you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you and tell us what the last thing was you took a picture of on your phone.
Sure. So I am Nikki Brockup. I have been with Keller Williams since 2019 with the Geyer Group. And then in 2021, I started as the wonderful Mr. Bossman Garris as his assistant. And recently we made the decision for me to, he helped me make the decision to transition into full-time realtor. And so I am doing that. Last picture I took was unfortunately of my fiance's positive COVID test, which is why I'm not in the office.
Hey, just out of curiosity, what'd you end up doing with that photo?
With the photo,
Yeah, who'd you send it to?
I sent it to my brother because he just left my house on Monday,
Yep.
and to Rick's daughters who were supposed to come stay with us this weekend.
You also sent it to me, fool.
I did send it to you, yeah.
All right, cool. Like I said, you guys will all be together for the next 5 weeks through this Ignite type of journey, right? I would urge you as an instructor, my worst character is I forget to take a break. If you guys need a break, throw something at me. If you need to use the little realtor's room, just excuse yourself for grown-ups, right? But before you leave today, exchange some contact information, right? You guys are in the same boat, right? And so kind of rely on each other for questions. Hey, what did Ricky say about that thing? Or what the hell was Gwen talking about? Probably more like the other way around. What was that one thing Gwen said? What the hell was Ricky talking about? Right? As you go through this journey together. And when you're done with Ignite, you'll have a sense of accomplishment with everyone else that you took Ignite with. And in 10 years, when you're all still here, you'll be like, remember when we took Ignite? With that full of shit guy, Ricky, retired 5 years ago? Yep, that guy. Are you serious? Now it's not gonna work.
She told you it was persnickety.
Stand on one foot. That always works.
We'll tie your left shoe, why change in your right pocket? Fine. This will work. Really, that's not even gonna work.
Do you gotta play the slideshow?
No, because I can't go through it.
Oh.
I at a regular speed. All right, here's how the calendar is supposed to be laid out. We've obviously changed it. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 to 12 for the next 5 weeks. That whatever that week is in October, we take off for fall break because so many people typically have kids and can't make it, and we don't want to create an uphold for anybody.
I'm sorry, I thought it was 3 weeks.
Maybe is it 3 weeks or 4, Gwen?
I think that's what they.
The email says 3 week.
I would go.
What? Oh my gosh, whatever the email says.
Yeah, I would go with 3 weeks then.
Okay,
Once we get full on going, the Ignite's gonna change around completely what the schedule looks like, just so you know. Gary Keller, anyone can do it, not everyone will. Will you?
Love that.
As you go through this, you're gonna start to see agents walking around the market center with black t-shirts on with phrases on them. Those are almost all Gary Keller quotes. And he's wearing one today that says buy dirt.
Buy dirt.
Buy dirt. Right? The one I want they were sold out of when I was at Mega Camp in August was don't wait to buy a house and wait. Right? I'm a big guy on cliches and memes and things like that. And I tend to agree with about 95% of what Gary says, right? And like I said earlier, he has 6 coaches. He's got a ski coach, he's got a guitar coach, he's got a life coach, he's got an exercise coach, he's got a business coach, right? Coaching is everything to that guy. And if you know, when you learn Gary's story, everyone should go read the one thing. It's a pretty quick read, and it kind of tells you his business story. The crux of it is, you had a business, you got to a certain level, you couldn't make it bigger. You went to have a business analyzed, paid a lot of money for the guy to tell him you're in the wrong chair, you need to fire yourself. Gary told him to go to hell, and 3 weeks later, fire himself, hire the right COO, put himself in the right chair, and today's Keller Williams. So the guy fired himself. All right, at some point in the past, Gary paneled a whole bunch of successful agents, like thousands of them. And he came up with this thing called the 6 personal perspectives. I have a 1-hour class that I'll teach it at some point in the very near future. It's when I write the calendar, and we'll go a little bit deeper on some of these things. These are the things basically that Gary said were the most important things that all of these people had in common. Committing to self-mastery. You got to know your goals. You got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Know how to work with both your strengths and your weaknesses to seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. I have a 20-something-year-old daughter who I had my first grandbaby 5 months ago. I coached my daughter in softball, competitive softball, growing up from age of 8 to 17 when she got hurt. I had put together, recruited a team when she was a teenager one of the years, and that team could field and they could throw. That was just a fantastic defensive softball team. The problem was they couldn't hit water, they fell out of the boat. So every practice all season long for 6 months, all we did was hit. Turn them decent hitting team. By the end of the year, I would say as a team, we were average. We couldn't catch a ball to save our butt. Because what I had done as a coach was found that we only worked on our weaknesses. We didn't keep our strengths sharp. So that's why it's important that you know your strengths and your weaknesses. I'm not a phone guy. Gwen's a phone guy. Gwen turns the phone into dollars all the time. If you want me to make phone calls for lead gen, that thing weighs 800 pounds, and I'm not doing it. I've had to find other ways to lead gen, which is a great thing in our coaching program because we're going to help you learn whatever way you'll do. We're not the market center that's going to tell you got to call 3 hours a day. If you want to, like Gwen, you make a lot of money. There are other ways to do it because I ain't making those phone calls. 80-20 principle. Who's ever heard of Pareto? Right? He's a philosopher, student of life, financier guy. I always forget the years, right around 1900, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's
Somewhere a long ass time ago, before even I was here, right? And he studied the finances of the country of Italy. What he realized was 20% of the people owned 80% of the land, which meant 20% of the people owned 80% of the wealth. Right? And he started looking at it through life, and 20% of the people do 80% of the work to this day. Right? Keller Williams, you can cap at right around 2.25 million gross sales volume. You cap, you get 100% commission for the rest of your calendar year, right? What do you think the average number is of agents that cap throughout North America?
20%.
It's almost 20% right on the nose, which is mind-boggling to me that there are 80% of Keller Williams agents out there that won't cap. Right? Going back to the self-mastery, I don't care what your problem is in real estate, you are missing one of two things. You're either missing a tool or a person. Solve that problem. Figure out which one it is and go get it. If it's a tool, what can I downline? What's a class I can take? If it's a person, who do I talk to that can help me out? Which for the next year should be your coach. Anyway, 20% of your actions will result in 80% of your results. It will, right? Your 20% when you start needs to be lead gen. You got to find the business. You be the best transactional real estate agent ever. If you don't have business, you got nothing. Which, by the way, starts with your database. If you don't have a database, you don't have a business. So you guys got to start building your database last week. Contacts, names, phone numbers, email addresses, street addresses, and birthdays if you can get them. If you only have one, reach out to them and get what you're missing. Hey, in real estate, I need your phone, I need your email address. Whatever it takes, you got to start building your database. A little bit of sidebar. The numbers will tell you that for every 10 people in your database, one of them will have a real estate need in the next 12 months. So you can make your business plan off of that if you systematically and consistently stay in touch with your people. If you want to do one transaction in the next 12 months, build a database of 10 and you'll hit your goal. The numbers bear it out every year. All right, moving from E to P. E meaning entrepreneurial, doing what comes naturally. To purposeful, doing what comes unnaturally. To be a successful real estate agent, you may have to get used to being uncomfortable, right? But be purposeful in everything you do. If it's not a dollar-making activity, expect it to make sure why you're doing it, right? What's its purpose? If it's not going to make any money, maybe I ain't doing it, right? Maybe I am still going to do it, but at least I'm aware and I made the decision up front. I'm sacrificing this time to do this thing that I know is not a money-making activity. Then you're at least aware of it. Be learning based. This is always my favorite. The difference between knowing for knowing's sake and knowing for doing's sake. Do you want to know knowledge? Do you want to have knowledge? That would be great if you're ever on Jeopardy, right? I'll take real estate transactions for 800. Maybe it's cool. Is it gonna help you? Is it gonna help your business? Is it gonna help you grow? Right? What are the classes I need to take? What do I need to learn today? What are the books I need to read? What are the books I need to listen to? Ricky doesn't read. Ricky will listen to books. I'm much more experiential. I'll just jump in and figure it out. But be learning based. And I'll go a little bit deeper on that here in just 1 second. Einstein, I'm neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Every time you take a class, you should go in there with at least 3 questions before the class starts that you want answered. And even if it's the most basic stuff, what's the instructor's name? What time do we get out of here? When's lunch? Whatever. A list of minimum of 3 questions that you want answered when you take the class. It automatically puts you in a curious mindset versus the Colorado real estate update that you have to take every year that's 4 hours long, and by the 20th minute, you're like, I'm gonna stab a baby. This is killing me, right? You gotta go into it with a different mindset. Mindset in this industry is everything. Removing your unlimiting beliefs. Removing your limiting beliefs. I don't have enough time. I can't be successful. I can't devote 3 hours a day. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never written a contract. I don't know anybody. I just moved here. It's all crap. If you think about it, your mind believes what you tell it. Right? I'll believe my word over anyone else's, and I tell my crap all the time. Right? Bill Gerald Ford quote: whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. Right? So you'll hear this referred to as your drunk monkey a lot. Your drunk monkey telling you I can't do it. Right? I'm too young. I'm too old. It's a woman's industry. It's a man's industry. I'm left-handed. Whatever it is. Right? You got to get rid of that garbage. Right? Nikki sliding over from my executive assistant to being a real estate agent now, right? And we were talking a little bit yesterday about her fear, right? And it was like, make your bed. There's a book called Make Your Bed, by the way. It's about this tall, it's written by a soldier, right? Just make your bed. You get out in the morning, make your bed. That's your first goal, make your bed. Sets up the rest of your day because it fixes your mindset, right? I live alone 50% of the time. Do you know who's gonna know if I make my bed or not? One person out of 8 billion people on the planet. I'm the only one that will know. But if I don't make my bed, I'm cheating myself because that's my goal, is to make my bed every day. It takes 30 seconds. Some days I'm tied up in knots when I wake up in the sheets. Other days it's navy rags on the right and I slept on the left, and that's it. Being accountable. I want to spend a minute on this because this is important. I believe that when people hear the word accountable, they go, it's a natural negative word. You got to change that. And it's not an easy change on mindset. A lot of different ways to do it. This is how it worked for me the first time. What if you put a space between the T and the A? I just became accountable. It's a different mindset. I think it worked for me. All accountability is inspection of what you did. I had my goals last week. Did you hit them? Yes. Awesome. Did you miss? Yes. Okay. Let's talk about what happened. What got in the way of you achieving your goals? The deal, the promises that you made to yourself. Now, what can we do differently so that we can work on closing that gap between what you did do and hitting your goals? I grew up, my dad was great at telling us there will always be, life will always hold you accountable to what you do, which is great. When I became a parent, the additional part of that I learned was, that's not just bad. That doesn't mean that you're grounded if you're late for curfew only, right? It means if you're on time for curfew 8 Friday nights in a row, you might be able to squeeze out an extra hour of curfew. So accountability is positive as well. It's not just the negative part. And I think we as a society, I wish we could learn that. So there's a lot of accountability. The toughest accountability can be for people who are just in a victim mindset, right? Nothing ever happens for them, everything always happens to them, right? My fantasy team, everybody that gets injured is always on my team. It's not true, right? Maybe I hit 2 in a row, right? But go look at everyone else in your league's roster. They're littered with injuries too, right? So you gotta seek reality. They will fight reality. They'll blame everything as someone else's fault, right? Go listen to certain NFL coaches. I do sports a lot. I'm a sports geek, right? And they'll come out and they'll just crush their defensive line. Or our running backs were terrible today, right? And they'll blame. Do you know what happens to those coaches? They get fired. Do you know what happens to the Sean McVays of the world? After Monday night, he came out and he said, it starts at the top and we were awful. He didn't set it. He didn't make a single block in that game, similar to the offensive line, not one block. He said, we have to self-inspect us. I have to call better plays. I have to have better practices and put our team and players in position to be successful. So this is on me first. I have to get better and we have to get better. And then he basically walked off, but he owned it, right? Didn't blame anyone else. Personal excuses. It's not my job. I was never given a chance. It doesn't work here. You're right. If you say it doesn't work here, you're right. Right? Waits and hopes. If it was meant to be, it will happen. Right? If it's meant, how does my friend say that? If it's meant to be, it'll happen to me. Well, maybe, but hope's not a plan. Be purposeful. Move from E to P and be purposeful in what you do. You'll get more of your goals. You'll achieve more in life. You'll have more of what you want. And it's easier when you screw stuff up to fix it in the moment. Right? Seek reality, acknowledge reality, get clarity. Clarity is power. You'll learn that in bold. Own it, find a solution, and just get on with it. Right? You've all heard to put your big girl panties on and deal with it. Get a couple extra pair in real estate because you can get teeth kicked in your mending, right? But you got 100 other agents on our roster that are here to support you, love on you, and help you out. If I got a problem, I typically know who to call, right? These days, it's usually Donna. So I've got some goofy crap happening in its transaction, right? Happiness is not an individual sport. Nobody succeeds alone. Nobody. And you all have chosen our market center, and we thank you for that and appreciate that. And you have 100 agents plus the leadership team of Amy, me, Gwen, Michael, whoever the new team leader is going to be. We're currently in search for it. We are all here to help everybody. As cliche as it is, team matters. Together, everyone achieves more. It's true. I have a whole 1 hour class on the 6 personal perspectives. All right, spend a couple minutes. In every class you ever take with Keller, at some point the instructor should stop you and say, what are your ahas? What's the nugget you've taken away so far? Who wants to volunteer 1 or 2?
There's a huge difference between trying and doing, right? Like trying is almost making up an excuse to do something or create action. Doing is actually being successful at it and putting yourself out there, challenging yourself. So that's one
I
thing.
went to Mega Camp the first time in 2015, I think, and Garrett Keller stood on stage in front of 19,000 agents, and he said, the reason I'm up here and you're down there is because I failed more.
Yeah,
And I was like, damn, it's true. Anyone else? Anyone in La La Land out there in Zoom?
Yeah, mine was the accountable. Switching the mindset around what accountability means.
Yep, it's just inspection, that's all it is. Don't spend any more time on that than anything else, right? Lead gen, lead follow-up, accountability, write contracts, negotiate contracts, and close, those are your jobs. Cool, thanks, Iggy. All right. KW culture. I am ridiculously ecstatic that they put this in Ignite because it never used to be in Ignite, and I used to teach Ignite, and I have all these agents that were ready to go and they're doing real estate and had no idea what Keller Williams culture was about. So I'm super excited they put it back in. The MVVPB, Red Day, KW Cares, Kids Camp, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, cultural ambassadors. Get a little bit into all of those things. And we'll do that right now. All right, MVVP, mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives. Well, you should hear this stuff a lot. Our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. So, one of the things that you guys got to work on in your own world is, what I want my career, my business to look like. Right? What is the life I want to live? What are the experiences I want to have? What are the experiences I want to give? What's the legacy I want to leave? Right? I don't want to be like Captain Breakdown because I'm all about positive energy. The fact is, I'm on the back nine of my life. If I don't live to be 105, then I am over halfway done. And I didn't spend an ounce a second on what my retirement was going to look like or what I wanted to leave for my family until I was like 48. And now that's the number one thing in my business is what do I want to leave? What's the legacy I want to leave? Right? I think that's really important. I would urge all of you to start that right now because it takes a long time. I've got to I've got to make riskier bets. I've got to make riskier decisions to have something to leave because I never thought about it. So far, we're doing all right in the 4 years I've been working on it. So far, we're doing okay. Our belief system, the Y4C2Ts. It's important enough, it's on the wall. Win-win or no deal. It's that simple. Agent to agent, buyer to seller, agent to seller, agent to buyer, more coach to whatever. It's win-win or no deal. If it's not win-win, it doesn't work. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Seek first to understand. I believe one of the biggest problems in our society today is that people listen to respond. And they do not listen to understand. I think it's the number one problem in marriage and relationships. I think it's the number one mistake that parents make. It's the number one mistake that most business owners make. Listen to understand, and then you can respond. If you listen to respond, you'll never understand what the real thing is, right? Anybody know who Andy Andrews is? He's an author, he's written a few books. He said this, I got to go to one of his book release parties one time, and he said this, he said, we all tell our kids the same thing every time they leave the front door, make good choices. We expect them to make good choices. And then he said, how many parents in the room have spent any time whatsoever with your kids teaching them how to make good choices? And I was like, I just failed my kids. Like instantly, he threw out my 18 years of parenting I'd done. And I raced home and I sat them down and I apologized to them. And I said, and I had good kids, like I didn't have problem kids, right? And still I felt like I failed them. So it's about teaching them how to make good decisions. And so we started that moment working on, if you got a decision to make, what's the pro, what's the con? Are you willing to live with the consequences of that decision, rather than be positive or negative? Are you willing to be accountable to your decisions? And if you are, and you can live with it, then you make that decision. And I'll support you 100%. Right? So fast forward, this was my moment of glory. My son is still a good kid, didn't want to finish high school, didn't see the importance of it. Couldn't understand, and I get it, he's 17, and the class of 2020, by the way, is a very weird class. But he could not get his brain wrapped around why the only thing in his life that I drilled into his head for 5 years was you have to get your high school diploma, and the moment you have it, it's irrelevant. How do you get a 17-year-old that's fighting you on it to understand, right? So at the end of his junior year, COVID hit, right? It was a mess for him. So he comes to me and he says, before finals, he said, here's the deal, Dad, I'm failing 4 classes. I need to pass my math final. I do not need to pass my Spanish final. He said, I've done the math. If I ace the Spanish final, I still fail. But I have to pass my math final to get a high enough grade in it that I can get to a D- and I can get the credit. And then that alleviates me having to take 2 math classes next year to graduate on time. I said, okay, where are you going with this? He said, I'm not studying for my Spanish final. He said, if I fail it, if I ace it, I still fail. I need to spend that time on my math test because I have to pass that class. And he said, and educationally, I've put myself in a position where I need to make this decision. And I said, I'm so proud of you for being aware of that, that now I really don't understand how you could do that. If you have that much self-realization, why not do that to yourself? But anyway, so that's what he did. So he didn't even take his Spanish final, and he got a high enough grade on his math test to pass the class, and he ultimately graduated on time. And I was super proud of him because he had weighed the pros and cons, made a decision that he could live with the consequences, and he did it. So that was pretty cool. Creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust, it all starts with honesty, especially in real estate, because a lot of times in real estate, you're dealing with the time, with the deadline, right? I need the answer. I don't care what it is. It can be the worst answer coming. I just need it so I know how I can help, right? Whether it's speed up another agent or help my buyer, help my seller. For me, I always look to protect my client first, the industry second, and the market center third. Equity, opportunities for all, and success is results through people, right? The agent that does the most business and makes the most money, guess what? It's the agent that talks to the most people. I don't care how good you are. If you're terrible with people and you hate people, and for whatever reason you got a real estate license, if you talk to enough of them, you will find business. Now, the conversion rates are going to be different than someone probably like me, because I love people and I want to change their lives to real estate, right? So it's the agent that talks to the most people will be the most successful, right? So if it doesn't fall, this is our belief system, right? It's so important, it's on the wall. Like, that blows me away that we put it on the wall. Red Day, renew, energize, and donate. The entire company sets aside the second Thursday of every May to renew, energize, and donate within the communities we serve. So we have this cool thing called the ALC. It's your Associate Leadership Council. It is a voluntary board of directors for the market center. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 12, anywhere between their people. To be on the ALC, the first checkbox is you have to be in the top 20% production. You have to be selected by the team leader, interviewed by the team leader, and then offered a spot on the ALC. Anything that will affect the agents in the market center gets voted on by your ALC. It's a 1-year position. We all lead committees. We have a Red Day committee, someone who's in charge of what we do for Red Day this year. How does that look? How do we get the entire roster done? So that information will start to roll out February, maybe March, but you can mark it down now. It is always the second Thursday in May. We close the office and we go out into the public somewhere. We donate our days worth of time, right? When you donate, you can donate one of 2 things. You can donate your time or your money, right? Whatever your personal donations are, I encourage you to do more of it. But that one day is about donating our time to go out into the public and help the needy, whatever that may be. That's chosen by someone either on the Red Day committee or the Red Day committee leader. Someone in the market center's got a good cause, whatever. It's the second, and it's really cool. We've been on the news. Like, our market center was on the news about 6 years ago. So that was actually pretty cool. All right, we'll go back to belief system, and a couple of you give me your ahas about the belief system.
I guess I'll go.
I knew you would, because that's why you sat in front.
No, I'm just very talkative and annoying. I love communication because I think, I mean, just like you said, it's literally the root of every relationship, whether it's building friendships, connections, networking. If you don't communicate properly, I mean, at least in this industry, you're not going to have a deal. Like, you won't even have a relationship with a client. And so I think communication is absolutely key to success.
Yeah, I would agree. 100%. Who else?
I second that.
Hey, way to steal my quote.
Hey, one of the keys in real estate, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just go find somebody else that's doing what you want to do, and they will tell you how to do it. And you just go do it. So if you want to R&D his thoughts, rip off and yeah, like, that's fine. That's how it's done. Find somebody, if you want to do open houses, go find somebody who does monster open houses. Get their playbook, they'll tell you, because they're a Keller, if they don't tell you, you let me know and I'll kick them out. They don't get to be here if they're not willing to help and support. They'll tell you, there's no business for everybody. There's what, 4.5 billion properties in the Denver metro area, and everyone that sells is 2 sides. There's enough business to go around. I can share my business model with you, right? Do you know what they call you if you won't share your business model? A Remax agent. And you pay $1,200 a month to be that person, whether you close or not. Yeah, and they believe balloons sell homes.
Play nice, Ricky.
You ever seen a Keller Williams radio? Seen a radio? No, have you ever seen a Keller Williams commercial on TV?
No,
Ever heard a radio ad for a Keller Williams agent?
no.
Do you know why? Because Gary doesn't believe in it. Because of profit share. Instead of taking 40 to 45% of the profit that Keller Williams International makes and spending it on marketing and advertising, he puts it back into your pocket as you build your downline, which we'll get to in a minute too, right? And the idea is get a coach or coaches that will help you learn how to market yourself and how to market yourself in a way that doesn't cost any money. It's free to knock on a door. Hey, Rick, you have a new agent in the neighborhood. I'm just curious, who's the next neighbor to move? As soon as someone gives you a name twice, you go knock on their door, you take the list. Right? That's free. You can invest, much like donating, 2 things you can invest are time and money. I'd rather you keep your money and spend your time. However, you get to a certain point of business and you want to make the other decision, that's totally cool too. Just be aware that that's what you're doing, right? Because if you spend time, you're spending that time. If you spend money, you're buying time to do something else. Putting your money to work for your marketing and advertising, but you're buying time to do something else. All right, cool. Okay, now we're 20 minutes in, we're gonna cover the agenda. The Value Awards, top franchisee for veterans in 2021. Top female friendly company, top 500 franchises, world's best employers, America's best customer experience, America's best employers for women and new grads. Blah, 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 blah. The fact is, it's because of the culture. Harvard Business School has a class, I believe it's Harvard, don't quote me on that. It's one of the, I think it's Harvard. Has a class on culture that they wrote the entire curriculum for that class off of what Keller Williams the culture looks like. Right? Culture's everything. If you build the people will build your business. Right? It's one of the reasons I'm so stinking excited to get back into coaching. I get to help build people, and you guys all run out build your own businesses. Training and coaching, right? Connect and Connect Live. If you go to mykw.kw.com, you get to Keller Williams University, whatever you want. Ignite, labs, whatever, right? Local and regional training. We have regional trainings all the time. One of the things, the expectations in the coaching program is that every day, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9, you're on the Scripps practice call that is a regional training. Family reunion and mega camp. Family reunion is the largest gathering of real estate agents in the world ever. It is sometime, usually give or take the dates, the 3rd week in February. And there will be, before COVID, there would be 26,000 agents show up from around the world. They started doing their own in Europe, actually, because they got too expensive for half of Europe to travel to New Orleans, right? It's a big 3 or 4 day training event. You get a calendar that says, here's 100 1-hour classes, go take the ones you want. And you get to hear from Keller Williams University instructors, like the teachers of the teachers of the teachers, right? It changed my business so much when I've gone. This year, it is roughly the 18th through the 21st of February, give or take a day or two in Anaheim. It's in Anaheim, it's been in Vegas, it's been in New Orleans, it's been in Orlando. I feel like I'm in Dallas. Dallas is cool because you can go get a picture taken with that giant eyeball that's in downtown Dallas for no reason. Mega camp every year is at the end of August, early to mid-August. It's always in Austin, Texas, because that's where the mothership is. KWRI is in Austin. That's where Gary started this whole thing. It's a similar type thing. It's much shorter. And it's for mega agents. They say mega agents. It's really just, it's agents. If you want to go, you go. Tickets are not cheap. If you get the early bird special, 3-to-1, they're usually $900. On Friday, the tickets for Marine was $13.99. There are ways around that. There are scholarships you can get, things like that. You can sit down and talk with one of us two coaches or Bonnie, Michael, and talk about it. If you want to go, what can we do about that ticket? One of the things that Gwen and I are creating is company coaching. Our goal is to get you to CAP and then the MAPS, which is the next level coaching. MAPS is $1,000 a month. With that, you do get tickets to Mega Camp and Family Reunion and masterminds in the fall and in the spring, which is just agents go and they sit down and they chat. And they talk about what's going on in their business, in their industry, in their neck of the woods, right? When I did that the first time, and I was talking to people from Pittsburgh and Louisiana and talking about what real estate looked like for them, it was mind-numbing to me. It was crazy. To CAP here, you pay $18,000 in company dollar. It is, to the best of my knowledge, $72,000 in Manhattan. And it's still the same amount of transactions, it's only 6 because of their price point. I asked the wrong question. I asked the team leader, I'm like, what do you pay in office rent? She just laughed. $170,000 a month in rent for their Keller Williams office in Manhattan. And I was like, holy crap. And at that time, when I had that conversation like 8 years ago, we were pretty much in a buyer's market, right? Buyers kind of controlled stuff, home sat for 30, 40 days. Right. And I was talking to a guy in Pittsburgh and he's like, we're in a ridiculous seller's market, dude, it's crazy. And so I never thought about it. I guess I just sort of subconsciously assumed that everywhere in the United States, real estate was behaving the same, and it's not. Start watching what happens on the coasts, the left coast and the right coast. Right. As their values start to drop, you will eventually see ours. We're usually 6 to 8 months in the state behind what the trends are on the coasts, right? We have this added benefit. We are in Colorado. Everybody wants to live in Colorado, except for those that have been here now, hate it, and want to move to Florida or Arizona.
Do it.
Right?
I've done both.
We
Do it.
are a destination state. Because I don't care what you do in your life, professionally or socially, you can do it here. With one exception, in 10 years I've come up with one thing you cannot do in Colorado. There's nowhere to surf.
Well, you could.
You can surf Cherry Creek, go to Chatfield and find a dead body, right?
Dead body.
You surf right by Cherry Creek Dam Road, probably find 12 of them, right? But it doesn't matter, you can do it here. We used to have the added advantage, if you were so inclined, you could come here and get stoned while you did it. Now it's pretty much everywhere and it doesn't matter, but it was an advantage for a couple of years. If you're outdoorsy, you can ski, you can hunt, whatever you want to do, you can do a car, you can climb a mountain. I don't know why anybody would rock climb, no idea, right? Like, no, you can do it here. And people want to live here, right? People in California can sell, I had a client, this was like 7 years ago. They were moving out here because his wife needed a kidney transplant. They wanted to be somewhere that was affordable, close to great medical care. So they sold their house in the San Francisco area. They sold an 1,800 square foot ranch, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, no basement. He said at best it was in average condition. They sold it for $1 million. I helped them buy a 5,000 square foot monster, 6-bedroom, 2-story with a finished basement house in Castle Rock for $525. Well, he wrote a check for $500,000, and I got him $7,000 and some other stuff. It was the funnest deal. They literally had to take a first mortgage out on their property for $18,000. Like their mortgage is literally like $29 a month or so garbage, right? So, the left of us on a map, Colorado's a cheap place to live. Take out a buyer from Ohio. And they're like, excuse me, how much? You gotta be kidding me, right? So the less than that is we get them from California, we get them from Ohio, everybody wants to live here. In the last 5 recessions, Colorado real estate has only actually slid once. It will just, recessions will slow property growth here. They won't go under, right? San Francisco, Detroit, those areas are still digging out from what happened in 07, 08, 09. Still digging out. Colorado's like, we're still gonna grow, like our houses don't care. Right? You can count on a 4% growth year over year in the worst of times here. Keller Williams University, Ignite, Command Training, Bold. Business objective for a life by design. One of the other things that's really important to me as a coach is to help you understand how to build your life by design. It's the life you want to live. And I'll let you stew on this for a minute because we'll get to it by the end of class today. I want you to build your business around the life you want. I do not want you to build your life around business that you think you're going to have. I teach how to write the right schedule, the way that I believe is the best schedule. So training will not be an issue. You'll have ample opportunity. Command, integrated end-to-end Keller Cloud platform for running and growing your business. You said your degree's in computer something or other. Command is going to be a piece of cake for you to learn. It's pretty user friendly.
You're gonna turn this part over to Nikki?
Yes, I will. When it comes time to teach anything about Command, yes. When I hired Nikki in January of 2021, her job description was to master Command. That was it. You're going to become a master of Command because I don't do computers, right? In case there's anybody old enough to get this joke, my Google was a card catalog. We had to know what 503.81 meant in the library, right? And then we had to open books. We had these old things called encyclopedia, right? I don't do computers.
You're not that old.
I'm old enough to know that I had my first, I was almost 30 before I had my first cell phone. Now they come out of the womb with it, right? All the answers. How many times did you ever hear a teacher say, you need to learn how to do the math because it's not like you're gonna walk around with the calculator in your pocket.
Yes.
That was literally what they said. We showed them, right? Because I have something in my pocket now that will do math and I can take pictures of cats and send them and tell everyone what jerks they are on the internet, right? It turns out it was not to lack of information that made us stupid.
And you're leaving out microfiche and microfilm.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right? Every school had an AV room where they kept all the projectors, right? And every time the teacher would roll the projector in, the hope was, I hope the light bulb's not burned out, because they never have one in storage. They didn't, believe it or not, have Amazon back then, so you didn't just hit a button and get a bulb delivered. So then the whole day screwed up and you were looking forward to taking a nap during whatever they were slideshow they were gonna give you. But Command will literally help you do everything you want. It should be your CRM. It will help you put people on your on drips. You should be electronically, you should be touching your clients no less than 36 times a year. If you do that, 1 out of every 10 will lead to should lead you to a real estate deal. Rather, it's one of those 10 or someone that one of those 10 knows, right? A brother, a neighbor, a mom, and dad, right? The guy who sold you your dog, the guy you sold your dog to, Melissa, because you didn't want one, right? Command will help you do everything. Nikki is online. She'll be here when she can. As she slides over, becomes an agent. She is Command Master. She's got it. And she will be more than happy to help teach any bit of it. On Nikki.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. She'll teach you the app. She was working on the app yesterday a little bit with Lisa. Right?
Yes, she was.
I'm gonna skip the market center number. Now, actually, I don't want to skip these yet. These are the 8 metrics that we use to compare our market center to what's going on in the real market. It's called the language of real estate. These are the metrics that we will use that everybody uses. So when you hear, hey, Keller Williams is outpacing the market by 10%, this is what we're talking about. Closed units, closed volume, listings taken volume, listings sold volume, contracts written volume, and closed gross commission income. Those are the metrics. So that when you sit down with your clients, you can say, you know what? In listings taken this month so far, our market centers outpacing the industry by 8%. Right? When you use this in your listing presentation or your buyer presentation, it should be followed with, what do you think about that? Because I can tell you a fact and I can tell him a fact. Same fact means two totally different things, right? If I say interest rates are at 7%, what do you think about it? Like seriously, I'm asking.
Interest rates are at 7%.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's pretty high.
Okay, if I tell you interest rates are 7%, what do you think?
Buyers aren't gonna buy.
Two kind of different responses, but similar, right? When I hear interest rates are 7%, where my mind goes is shit. My mom and dad bought their first house, interest rates were at 17, and they were happy to get it. The fact is 7% seems high. The reality is it was because 3% was stupid and irresponsibly low for 3 years. That's not the normal. The normal should be 6 to 7. I think we're in a normally priced market. But everyone's freaking out because we're coming out of 3s. Right?
Aren't they around like 5.8 right now?
No, they're at 7.
Oh, they are.
They are. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
that was just recent, like the last 2 weeks because of what happened.
Yep,
over England, right?
they've been creeping up,
Yeah.
right? Every time you hear this phrase, the feds are gonna meet, tighten your wallet, because it's about to go up for now, right? My personal opinion is late next year, they'll start to go back down. So the script with your buyers is this: listen, I appreciate that 7% seems high to you. And it's high because we were in the abnormal market, which was 3%, 4%, right? But here's why it's still the best time to buy is still today. One of 3 things will happen for you. One, in 2 to 3 years, interest rates are back down at 5, 5.5, 6, something like that. You will have still got your 3 to 4% growth value year over year. You can take a look at refinancing and you can get the home that you want. 2, interest rates stay the same, and in 2 to 3 years, they're still at 7. And it didn't really matter if you bought today or 2 years from now. And if you bought today, you still have 4% growth, 4% growth. Or 3, interest rates continue to skyrocket at the level they're going, and 2 years from now, they're at 11. And you're gonna call me and be pissed that you're still renting, that you could have had a loan at 7. There's no loss for you once you get around the fact that 7 is actually just kind of an average number. And it changes their perspective on everything, right? So that's the language of real estate. You'll start to hear that more and more once we get our TL replaced. I'll talk a lot more about that. If you go out on the front wall, as you walk out the front door, all the photos are on the right of who your ALC members are. Put your list together of who they are, get their phone numbers. When all else fails, call an ALC member. I promise you they will take your call. Right? It's me, it's Adrian, Tammy Horner, who you guys will have. I think she's teaching tomorrow, and Gwen. If you ever have any, just call one of us. We'll take the call, I guarantee it. Profit share and growth share. You can start to build your passive income. This is very true. No financial risk, no legal risk, no down payment, no phone calls. Right? How nice would it be on the 21st of every month if you woke up and you just got a deposit in your bank account? Here's how you do it. As soon as you close on a transaction, as long as the co-op agent was not just like the worst person on earth, take that name and you already have the contact number, you already have a relationship with them. Congratulate them on a closing, just say, hey, my TL may be reaching out to you to check and see how things went. Will you take that call? They will say yes. Then you get the contact information of the team leader will start recruiting them slowly, right? When they come and join our family, they put you as their sponsor. Every month that they contribute to company dollar, and every month that our market center is profitable, 48% of our profits go back into the agents that participate in growth, your recruit, and your downline. There are people in this country making over $1 million a year in just profit share because they built their downlines. Althea Gibson is in Florida, I think. It's crazy. She and her husband took a vacation to South Africa. Wanted to go on an African safari. So they go on vacation. One day the husband's gonna go, her husband's gonna go play golf, and she doesn't play golf. She stays back at the resort. She's a producing agent. She stays back at the resort. She's bored while he's out playing golf. She says, you know what? I'm gonna go see what real estate's like. So she started calling real estate agents until she found a new real estate agent that didn't have anything better to do. And they went and had coffee. And she said, tell me about real estate in South Africa. 9 months later, Keller Williams opened their first office in South Africa, and every South African agent is in her downline.
Do you know how many countries KW is in?
Last I heard was 62,
Wow.
including Wyoming,
Oh,
which I can say because that's my home, that's where I'm from,
what part?
Casper, the real windy city.
Isn't that where Kanye bought his house or something?
I think he bought one in Jackson.
Oh.
It's the windiest city in America. Chicago can kiss my butt. And Farmers Almanac always tell you it's the third worst winter city in the country. Too. I grew up playing baseball with Bobby Pins and Marcus Lindbergh so much. It would blow your hat off. And we would almost every game, as soon as we had an umpire that we'd never seen before, I guarantee we were getting at least one balk call because the pitcher's hat was going to blow off. It's great. So I want to go back to all right. Resources. A couple years ago, Gary Keller did this idea, and he opened up a new company called KWX. It's a big umbrella over all of these. We have Keller Williams, we have Keller Williams Worldwide, which is a little bit of a different business for everybody that's not in North America, right? We have Keller Mortgage, Keller Manage. Honestly, I have no idea what that is, right? Keller Cupboard, a title company. Keller Offers, which is a deal, which is a good deal. If you have say you have a seller that needs $20,000 worth of repair on their own to really be able to make it sellable, right? And they're tied on cash and they're sitting on $150,000 in equity. Keller Offers will come in and loan them the money and they don't have to pay it till they close. Or then if they decide not to sell, then they owe the debt just as if it was like a second mortgage, right? We got all kinds of cool stuff because Gary's vision is to make Keller Williams a one-stop shop. You walk in our front door and we'll take you through all of it. Right? Lending, title, the actual real estate piece, right? All of it. That's ultimately his vision. He wants every real estate sign in the world to say Keller Williams on it. Which is always cool. Denver's always been kind of the #2 place for Keller Williams because there's a lady named Diana Kokoska that wrote basically all the training programs we have. She wrote the original Success Series. She wrote the original Ignite. She wrote the original Bold, Win with Buyers, Win with Sellers. All the classes you can take at some point she wrote and she was from Denver.
She's in that book, that red book, right?
So she's all over the red book.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he talked about her.
Yep. Yep.
Like his first agent or something that he hired, assistant.
Yep. One of them when he decided to expand and go out of Texas. Right. By the way, if at the end of this, if you learn anything, it's just read the MRA book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, and just do what it says. Right? Communities, diversity, equity, and inclusion, commercial, land, luxury, military, new homes, sports and entertainment, young professionals. So it irritates me. I'm old enough, I should be able to be in there twice. Because if you're over 30, you're out. I want to start number 9, QOF, KWOF, which is Keller Williams Old Parks. I can do that. The young professionals. If you're 31, you're out. Like, when did 31 become not young?
Oh, you weren't kidding about that?
No, I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
Now, they'll waive the rules a little. If you look young, you're right, I'm out. I'm not out. Too great. It's a big deal. We got a pretty strong KWYP chapter here in Denver. Sports and entertainment is new. As organizing it and putting it together, new homes is very new as well. There is another one that they've started, relocation, KW relocation is another one that's coming. So if you want any of these to be a real kind of linchpin or pivot point for your business, we can get you in touch with who you need to get in touch with that division, and you can start down that path. Sweet. Yep, for sure.
Love how it says optional break.
Optional break. All right. I want everyone to actually do this. Today is October 5th, right? I'm super glad I said that out loud. It's my best friend's birthday. Today is October 5th. 1 year from now, your business is thriving, your life is everything you dreamed of. Customers rave about the experience and value you provide and think of you when they have a real estate need. Your family and friends are so proud of your success and are consistently referring business your way. You are helping others live their dream of owning a home because you are focused on helping them get what they desire. You're building the foundation and momentum for your entire career, gaining relationships and experiences and the income you desire. You're the top agent in your market center or rookie of the year if you're new. You're poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you focus on your 20% that grows your business. You are on the path to blank. I want y'all to take a couple minutes and fill in the blank. What are you on the path to? And everything else up there is true a year from now. What are you on the path to?
A million buckaroos.
Total, residual, passive, just next year?
Passive income.
That would be dope. I'm working on mine as we speak. What else? You're on the path to what?
Financial freedom.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's the ability not to not really work if you don't want to.
The ability to not.
Yeah.
That's the best definition I've ever heard of financial freedom.
Yeah.
The ability to not. Right? People think about financial freedom being the ability to go do whatever I want to do, which in large part it is. But to me, that next step is the ability to not.
All the choices you want.
Every choice you want.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, no, maybe, it doesn't even matter at that point anymore. Right? The coaches will work on what that number is, because what that number is to you is different than hers and hers. It is and mine it is. Right? So we'll help you identify what that number is. Marty, what else? What are you on the path to?
Think of that one.
Success.
What does that mean to you?
I guess it's like what he said, financial freedom. I think that's what we're looking forward here. Everybody is that's what we're here for.
Okay. If you want financial freedom, if you want the ability to not, you got to start investing in real estate as soon as you can. By the way, soon. The way I invest, by the way, sidebar, it's just me 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, my girlfriend Jen's here or I'm in Wisconsin. I live alone, right? So what I do is I go buy a house, 3.5% down. I get 2.8% as the buyer's agent. I spend $6,000, buy a $450,000 house. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, feature and schools. With any luck, there's no HOA and has a garage. I live in it 1 year. I could turn it into a rental property and I can go buy another one. 3.5% down, get 2.8% as the buyer's agent, spend $6,000 to buy another. And I can do that 10 times before someone will start like, what are you doing? If I want to invest in a property, I have to put 20% down. I will still get 2.8% as the buyer's agent. So I'm left at 17.2% down. If I live in it for a year, I only need 3.5. I really don't have to come up with 0.7.
That's crazy.
It's called house hacking. If you're single or it's easy to move, just do it twice. I don't believe in luck or coincidence, especially in real estate. If you lay down in the opportunity train track long enough, you will get hit. So I had a client, good friends of mine, younger couple that outgrew their house that I'd helped them buy. So they said, we want to sell out, we got to move up, right? We have 3-bedroom, we're having our 3rd kid. So I explained to them what caused that, told them to stop. And went over to talk to him. No, I'm not kidding you. The next day I'm in the shower and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go buy their house. They're gonna pay me 6% and I'm the buyer. I'm gonna buy their house, I'm gonna live in it for a year, and then I'm gonna turn it into a rental. We closed on March 21st or 22nd. I'm sorry, March 18th that year. We closed on March 18th, 2020. We got grounded from COVID the next day. Changed our market, property skyrocketed. Great. So I have now owned that home for 2.5 years. Right. And I'm sitting on 35% equity. My kids rent it out for me, my daughter's son-in-law and your grandbaby rent it out for me, I'm cash flowing out of it, bought the second one in February. Now, you can't count on the market going up 30% in 2.5 years. But you can't count on it going up 3 to 4 at a minimum. And then 3 to 4 more, and then 3 to 4 more, right? Compound interest, the 8th wonder of the world, right? So my goal is to own my 10th home, which will be the ranch that Jen and I want. When she moves here in 2030, we already know she'll move here when her youngest graduates high school, which is in 2030. And that will be our 10th home, and I will have the ability to not. That's the goal, and my income will be from rental property. Right? If I live long enough, sell one a year, so by the time I'm 70, I'm dead and I'm not leaving my kids shit, right? That's what I tell them, go make your own, right? Not just kidding, but that's my goal, is to have $1 million in equity and a couple hundred, I don't have the specific number just yet, of annual income. Right? That's my goal. That's how I'm doing the investment. Get in it as soon as you can. Right? As soon as you can. All right, Lisa, what are you on the path to?
Leaving my legacy.
Do you have a definition of what that is? You don't have to share it yet if you don't want, but do you have one?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
You know, it's giving my children something that they can reap benefits from.
I heard this a couple weeks ago and I thought, wow. So you have life insurance, right? To help take care of your family and your kids, right? Have you started college savings for your kids yet? Throw it away and go buy a condo.
Yeah.
And when they're 18, here's your condo, do whatever the hell you want with it. Live in it, sell it, whatever. They'll have more money for college that way than if you started them on their Colorado 529 program. And I was like,
No, I've heard that. Yeah. More than once lately.
holy crap, like that was mind numbing to me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I hear stuff and I hate my parents, I'm like, thanks,
Yeah.
right? I love that though. Live your legacy. Solomon, where are you gonna be on the path to?
I suppose on the same path, like financial freedom, just being able to do things that you at home might maybe just dream of, like some certain travel or.
Yep. If you could travel anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go?
Well, it's hard to say. I think I've always wanted to see like Costa Rica and stuff, so maybe something like that.
That'd be awesome. I would say go a different time of year.
Yeah.
Nikki. All right, Anthony.
Oh, I'm here.
All right, cool. What are you gonna be on the path to a year from now?
Mine is also the financial freedom, and in order to do that is the investment properties.
Yep. And not have COVID running through your house again?
Yeah,
That's a good goal.
that's the goal.
I'm on the path to not having COVID. I like it. Anthony, how about you, buddy?
Good. Mine is also financial freedom and hopefully in a year get my first investment property to rent out.
Yep. We can make that happen, my man. Gwen and I will help you make that happen. I wish Gwen was still here. I'd like to hear hers. I will get it out of her at some point and I'll make her share. I think it's really important. Your big life. Right? $364,000, what they chose, what are you gonna do? with it? How are you gonna spend it? Right? I think this is a good exercise for you to do on your own. If I make $100,000 next year, how am I gonna spend it? If I make 2, how am I gonna spend it? The next year I spend 4. I make 400,000. How am I gonna spend it? I'll get you in the mindset of I expect to make that much next year because I've already spent it in my head. To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration for doing it. You need to know your own big why. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Lisa to come back because I know this piece is really important for her. So now, plus now when she walks back in, we can all stare at her.
You're asking us our big why?
Sort of. Sort of. You want to talk about being vulnerable?
Mhm.
Share your big why. It's pretty vulnerable.
Yep.
Right? And I'm not gonna ask anybody to do that today. What we are gonna talk about is, do you know what it is? And if you, I believe there are two kinds of people on the planet, those that know their big why by nature, and those of us that took 5 years. Because it took me a long time to figure it out. And some days I still wonder if I got it nailed or not. Right? As soon as Lisa gets back, anybody needs to use the little realtor's room or refresh their coffee or their drink, feel free. Tell you what, let's just plan a meeting back here at 10. It's 9:51.
Sorry. Donuts, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I was a Jimmy Towers. I'm like, if I take your box to eat all of my birthday, it's my birthday.
Oh, man.
So when I first started jumping around in the real estate, I kept hearing about this book. So I bought it, you know, like. And met a guy there that's like. Our owner of that, or what, but like all about the design. Oh, okay. And so I committed to it. Even my father-in-law. About the book, so the reason is just kind of like really good. How to be a successful person, you know? Okay, who's the evil person that brought donuts? No, right? Let's say that you did that.
No, I would.
Yeah, that was like a protein powder maybe. Protein, you would put up there. Yeah. Those are killing us, you know that. But I did.
You guys are looking good in here.
Talk about, but the only reason that I said yes is I have to go 2 times. I know we have one at 12 o'clock. Every Monday. So, but yes, that is pretty much. So, I just find out what she did.
That would be like wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much. No, I've won donuts. Yes. Yeah. I want donuts. And integrity in the life of teams, right? Integrity, do that. Please do. Please do. So you were like coat hangers, you leave us alone for 10 minutes and there's just more of us. You wanted to come and meet all the dog people?
I went to the doctor, and I was on my way back, and I was like, I might as well just go in versus do this.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
One year I took Bull, and he starts off in the first day of class, and he goes, all right, we're gonna do some word association. I'm gonna say a word, and I'm gonna point to you, and tell me the first word that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Right? He goes, dog. And he points at this guy in the front row, and the guy goes, woof. He points to a girl over here, and she goes, bark. And he points to the girl in the back, and she's like, childhood. He was like, all right, he points to me, and I go, cat. And he goes, I'll come back to you. And he kept going, right? And everyone was wolf, bark, childhood, whatever, right? He goes, all right, who's the cat guy? I raised my hand. He goes, I said dog and you said cat. Why? And I said, because I'm divorced twice. And the one thing I ever liked is dog people should marry dog people. And cat people should marry cat people. And I was known as the cat guy for the rest of the day. The next thing means I was the cat guy.
I love the fact.
Which is funny, but then that turns into, I hate dogs. I'm like, no, I don't hate dogs. I love dogs. You know what I love? Other people's dogs.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need my own. I don't clean up after me. I don't want to have to chase that dog. I don't want to have to chase anything. Anything on here scream, that guy runs? No.
Well, that's what it was so funny, because all of a sudden I'm the person that doesn't like dogs.
Yeah, you're the non-dog.
Oh my God, I was like, this poor girl's like branded forever now as anti-dog.
You hang out with them long enough, you'll all get that way.
I know. But that's okay. Well, but it was true. It was like, I didn't want kids. And what's funny is that my stepkids know it, and we always joke about it, because they're
Yeah.
8 and 10, and I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
I didn't want kids and I didn't want dogs, and now I have both of you. And they're like, I know, you didn't want kids, you wanted, but they know
Jesse
how
does it
much I
all.
love
I am.
them, you
I'm in
know?
the same boat as you, right? My kids are grown.
Yeah, so it's like, I didn't want
Girlfriend,
kids,
girlfriend
and I
has
didn't want
12 and
dogs.
10
Yeah, oh, so.
and lives in a different state.
And they're like,
But the 12-year-old helps take care of my
No,
horse,
no,
so
it's
it's
my
sort of a give
day-to-day
and take.
Right.
But it was funny, I don't,
But I
I
come
do-
here.
because I'm
as
not there
often
all
as
the
I
time,
can
Yeah.
to-
I don't have a
You know,
lot of.
I'm not sure you want to believe him.
I
Just saying, just.
don't wanna
A
say
little
that I'm
tip.
full of crap, but when I met Donna 10 years ago, she was blonde.
And guess who gave you the white?
all him.
All me, yes.
He's a good guy.
But
You'll learn lots of
I have
stuff.
never gotten in trouble with her. We've had a heated argument, a heated discussion upon occasion.
Discussion.
But I've never been in trouble. I have never,
Okay, no discussion.
I have never got the call, you need to come into my office.
Well, that's good.
No.
Because when that happens,
You don't want.
you are done.
Yeah, the last time that happened to me, I got a check. I don't mind.
Into
That's
the office,
funny.
but if Donna calls you and says, come into my office.
I'm
Just send the
rarely-
license
just so
back
you
and
know,
send it
stop
to
scaring them. I rarely do that.
Yeah.
Rarely do that.
That's excellent.
I will say this, since I've been in this market center 10 years, and you've been the employee broker back, what was it, six?
Eight.
Eight?
Wow.
She is the only person in this office that has required us to replace a phone. Do with that information later.
I have,
But yeah,
let
you-
me tell you, I have a
That's
landline
actually
at home. I have a landline at home for one reason. Robocalls.
Oh, that's a good
That
reason.
was a good, yeah.
So you pay your $7 a month, have your landline in, and all the people who go, this is the social security department, blah, 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 or what was the latest
I'm
one
getting
I
close
got?
enough, I may have to start taking that
Yeah.
call.
The other one
Art
was.
shows up in my mailbox every month now too.
Yeah, there was another one about, I don't know, about not paying your electric bill or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I say.
And I
That's
said,
everything.
yeah, and it's like when I get the calls from the social security, I know I know what my age is, but I'm not stupid,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and they all, and then, you know, the Amazon one is a
The
really good
Amazon
one
one
too.
is, yeah.
Yeah,
My mom got played
I
on that
haven't had
one.
the Amazon one,
She
but I've got
was-
the.
oh no, I won't
twice.
take anything.
And the
Yeah.
IRS one. I get that
You,
one.
yeah, the IRS one.
I caught my mom on the Amazon one. She's talking. I went, who are you talking to? And she was like, I'm talking to I said, no. Hang
No,
up
hang up
right
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you started getting spam calls since you opened up your LLC? I get like 7.
Yes,
calls.
you will.
It's
You will.
I mean, I literally just did it yesterday, like
I
applied,
don't really.
so.
You will.
Yeah.
You'll get, you know, it'll be insurance, it'll be all kinds of
Okay,
crap,
so
you'll get, they wanna sell you everything. And so just
Where did you raise them around
don't
here?
answer any
Where?
of them,
Where do you go to school?
nothing, yeah,
Well,
nothing.
my 26-year-old.
Yeah, no, because trust me, if they want you,
What
they'll
year?
email you because they have your
Well,
email.
2014.
Right, and then you
My
can
daughter was
either say yes or no or
2015.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
No
don't
kidding.
buy
I think
any
they
of
know
that
each
crap.
other.
It's
Oh,
very
They're
hard.
gonna sell you
Where
all
did they,
kinds
where
of
did,
crap or
is it a
try
boy or
to,
girl?
don't do it.
I
When I
literally
was
get like
setting up
70
my
calls a
LLC,
day.
they're trying
It's so bad.
up some,
And,
you want this, I'm like,
I'll
no,
let you
no,
know
just want
when
Then it
LLC,
was
that's
down-
it, you know, and
Kenny Creek.
Yeah,
I don't need your
Okay.
business
So,
planning and your web
what's
design and
your
your.
daughter's name?
Oh my god, the web
No.
design.
yeah, the web design's gonna just drive you nuts.
Yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no, you got a
Awesome.
website, you don't need.
That's
right.
And then your
You
next
know,
one out is
just
how
use what you got.
The next one is Hunter. And, but he went to, we moved to Harvard at that time.
Okay.
So,
You didn't go for a donut?
Again.
but then he
You
moved
didn't
me
go for a donut?
moved back.
It might
into
change.
Twitter.
And
I
I
tried
tried to
trying
learn,
really
but I
good.
can't come to.
Hey, I hear
It's
that.
hard, it's really hard.
My son
I
was
got
a
a
student.
student, even though I'm not an
People
addict,
press.
I
I have a
always
nephew
went
that
on
was
calls.
And because I've done that, I
Yeah,
have.
that's
Just catch it, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, Ricky, teach well.
No.
See you guys later.
All right, see you, Donna.
2020, he graduated 2020.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's a small world.
It is a small world.
I just wouldn't want to paint it.
Show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I'm eager, I'm
exactly.
thirsty,
Yeah,
I
so
want to
26,
learn.
21, and then
Um,
18, and then I was like, no, what happens here?
all right,
Maybe I should.
so I'm gonna.
But I love dogs, so it's not fair.
I also like to
Now.
do business out in public.
I will live with
And like, because I figure
It'll be okay.
All right.
that's an opportunity.
See you, I'll be
I mean,
back.
nobody will talk to me, but nobody's gonna talk to me in my house,
You're
that's
still
for
on
sure.
the line anyway. All right, Lisa, we decided to take a break, it was a good breaking point anyway, and you had asked about your big why earlier.
Yes.
To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration for doing it. Your big why. Who in here knows what their big why is?
I
It's
feel like
okay.
it's evolving
It took
too.
me 6 years to figure out mine,
Yes.
right? If you guys want, we can spend about 6 minutes or 7 minutes doing a pretty dark exercise that'll help you start to figure it out. You guys in?
Sure.
All right,
We get dark.
here's how this goes.
Okay.
You guys leave here today, you're all pumped up to do real estate and you go out, you get your car to go home and you get killed in a bus accident. And I'm sitting at your funeral next week.
This is dark.
Yeah, for real.
What do you want your family to say about you at your own funeral? I literally want you to write this down or type it. Type your answers. What do you want your family to say about you at your funeral?
You walked in at the right time.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Just killed you.
Yeah, well, we killed everybody. It's a big ass bus accident.
No, we were all on it.
Yes.
We're all on the bus going for our field trip Friday.
Okay, well,
You need 2 minutes to type out what you want.
then I like to give that.
What do you want your kids to say about us or your family to say about you? It could be your parents, siblings, is whatever. Go for 5 more seconds.
No?
Good. It's quick.
Yeah, I feel like your big why can definitely change as you
We'll
evolve.
rotate. 100% should. 15 seconds. Okay, everyone stop. Now I want to know, what am I going to hear from your friends? What do you want your friends to say about me? At your funeral, what am I going to hear your friends say? 2 minutes, ready, go.
What's the next one?
What are your friends going to say about you? What do you want your friends to say about you?
The last one was family.
Last one was family.
Oh.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be a lot different for some people. Second. Stop. Last one. This is my favorite part of this very dark exercise, and with newer agents or agents that are working for Williams. We want your colleagues to say value. What do you want your colleagues to say about it? I'm standing up giving your eulogy. What do you want me to say about it? Seconds. All right, stop. Now I want you to go back and I want you to reread what you wrote. You're going to find a common thread. You're going to find maybe a word or two that you used twice or even 3 times. Whatever that word is, or whatever that theme is, or whatever that thread is the beginning of your big why. When I did this exercise, because I had no idea, I'd never even heard the term big why. I was like, why? Because I got a mortgage. Coach was like, everyone got a mortgage. I got car payment, I got kids, and everyone got a mortgage and kids. Everyone needs gas bills, everyone needs water, everyone needs food. Why do you get up? What would you be excited to do at 4 a.m.? Full transparency, I didn't fall asleep last night until about 4 and I was up at 6 because I was so stinking excited to be here today. But your theme around whatever you wrote, that's the beginning of your big why. When I did the exercise, the one word that showed up in all 3 answers was reliable. It's critically important to me that people know if I say I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. I might suck at it, whatever the thing is, but if I say I'm going to show up, I show up. And they know I'm going to be there. I didn't even know that was that important to me until I did this exercise. And I was like, wow, I'm dead there. It said I was reliable. Seems like a bit of an oxymoron, the reliable guy said. That's what it was. Anybody want to share? You do not have to. I'm not, this is not one of those questions where I'm going to call on you and say, hey, tell me. If you want to share, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. This is the beginning of your big why. And when you get in touch with that and you twing that big why nerve, man, it makes this industry really fun. Literally 4 o'clock this morning. I can't tell you how many times I watched Scott Nappel tell me Sports Center last night, like 3 before you fell asleep. Cool. Now you all got to start. There is a book called Start With Why. Read it, listen to it, look at the pictures. Well, I don't even know, whatever. All right. Once you start your business, you got to start paying attention to where your commission dollars go. To the other agent, market center, business expenses, taxes, and what you take home. Right? Net income goal, $100,000. If I ask every one of you how much do you want to make next year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 of you will tell me $100,000. Maybe even 5 of you. And then someone else goes, I don't know, 50. It's usually how it goes. Company dollar royalty cap. This says 30,000. That is wrong. In our market center, your company dollar and royalty cap is 21,000. Right? Gross commission 180, average commission of $9,000, you gotta do 20 transactions. Right? Ignore the specific numbers, but does the math make sense? Okay. Our average commission is probably double that right now. Our average price sells somewhere around 600 grand. So at 3%, that's 18,000. Okay, but you gotta start tracking where your money goes.
What's under business expenses? Include taxes too, or?
Yes, business expenses should include your taxes. If you're doing it correctly. If you do it incorrectly, it does not, you pay $700 a month for the rest of your natural life.
Right.
Yes. Like, I paid $7,700 already, like this year, and like, it's not going down. I don't understand. Revision, I want you to do this. I want you to write down your net income goal. Then under company dollar royalty cap rate 21,000. Business expenses. We'll go much deeper on this when you do a one-on-one with the coach, whether it's me or Gwen. Which, by the way, will typically be broken down either A, if you want a specific person, or what day of the week. I'm gonna try to do my one-on-ones on Wednesdays, Gwen's gonna do hers on Thursdays. Total gross commission, take your, whatever your average sales price is gonna be, like I said, in our market center, it's about 600,000. 3% is at 180. Average commission, 18,000. And then the number of transactions you need to get to your net income. That's how we'll start figuring out your finances. All right. So going back about, I don't know, back to values, resources, your vision, career vision and stuff. Give me a couple of ahas from the last hour or so.
Priorities, prioritize
what?
Prioritize the things that matter most to you and what makes you successful, not only as a business owner, but as an agent.
Yep.
As a friend, as a colleague.
Yep. What else?
Said at some point, like really paying attention to, is this dollar productive
Is this
activity?
dollar making activity or
Yeah.
is this not a dollar making
And,
activity?
and knowing and having a clear boundary of,
Yep.
it's not, but that's okay, because
Well, then it
these are
becomes
the
a
areas that
decision.
that's okay.
And you know what that is? That's living a life by design and not default.
Yes.
Clarity is
And
everything,
being proactive. Yeah.
Yep. right? Be proactive. Absolutely. Be proactive on the right things.
Purposeful, is that what it was?
It is purposeful. From
yeah.
EDP is purposeful, right? All right, success system. You should be having 10 conversations a day about real estate. I don't care who it's with, what specifically it's about. Your goal should be 10 conversations every day. Your goal should be to have 10 contacts every day. 10 handwritten notes, right? The easiest way, when I have a bad day or something just irritates the crap out of me or whatever, which I work really hard for that never to happen. But the best way for me to flip my mindset back to being positive is to start writing thank you cards and gratitude cards to people. Hey, thanks when you did this, thanks when you did that, I appreciate you did this. Write it in a card and send it. Right? 10.1 social engagement. Here's how I define that. I have no idea how the book defines it because I don't really care what the book says about it, but it's 10 comments, 5 reactions, and 1 new friend every day on social media. I have no idea what enrichment means. Honest, just being honest. Probably should read the book. Right? Appointments, agreements, and closings. This is what you're after. Right? Y'all, including myself, are after this one. Gotta have the appointment. You have enough appointments, this will happen.
Is this in that folder?
The whole thing for today is
Okay.
under Ignite.
It's hit, the whole file is hidden now for this one.
Sorry, I'm just,
It is?
Yeah, I try to pull it up and
She may
everything,
cut it out.
everything says hidden.
Consider this bonus and bonus material for Rick.
Okay.
Right? But you guys can control how many appointments you have. You can pick the phone up, or you can knock on the door, or you can have the event, or whatever your lead generation is gonna be until you get an appointment. You can control that. You can control how you behave in the appointment. You cannot control the agreement. You cannot control if it closes. But you can control how many appointments you have. A piece of clarity. Every time you speak, by the way, some version of the word clear comes out. Did you know that?
I'm
I
sorry.
noticed that today. Every time you talk, some version of the word clear comes out. Clarity, need to be clear, clarification, whatever, right? Be clear on what you can control and what you cannot. It's really important. You can control appointments. You can control how many people you talk to. You can get better. You can develop your skill set, and you can increase and get better at your conversion rate. How many appointments lead to how many agreements? You get better at that. You can't really control it. You can control it, you have an appointment. If you guys, when you do your lead generation, I don't care how long you do it. If you do your lead generation every day until you get an appointment, you will make $1 million in your second year at the longest. That's 5 appointments a week. If you suck and convert one of those, that's 52 transactions at an average commission of $18,000. What's that? 580,000 or some crazy thing like that? And an average agent will convert 75% of their appointments to agreements. Which is a big number, and I'm gonna assume none of you wanna be average. I'd like to be an average agent, please. There's good money in it. I just don't know that anybody who comes into the industry wanting to be an average agent. I know a couple. Always when you're calling, beware of the do not call list. Do not want to get sued for anything, especially this. Government is not playing. All right, define your sphere. People you have met in one way, shape, or form. If you've ever had a conversation with them, they're in your sphere. If you have not, they're in your database, but they're not in your sphere. I divide mine by Mets and not Mets. Have I met them? No. All right, well, the chances are I'm gonna get a referral from someone I've met versus someone I have not met, right? So now I have to convert my not Mets into Mets. How do you do that? Simplistically put, you go meet them. You go have a cup of coffee or lunch or whatever. All right. When you're having conversations with people, it's very awkward to call and say, I have a real estate license. Do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell or invest in real estate and maybe get into the industry? That sucks. It's salesy. People don't want that phone call. But if you follow this simple system, the phone call goes a lot differently. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Hey, how's your wife and the dog? Okay. I haven't touched base in a while, just thought I'd call and check on your wife and the dog.
I feel like it's just easy when you're personable with people.
Be personable. If
Yeah.
you lead generate on the phone, you shouldn't even ask for business ever.
Yeah.
You should always lead generate with a different goal in mind, right?
I agree.
Then you talk about their occupation, how's it work? Right? People coming back into your office, people coming back into your factory, your warehouse. What's traffic like? Like, talk about work. It's a different world than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, you show you care the moment they're just changing.
When COVID hit, we literally changed the term to care calls.
Yeah.
Make your care calls, right? How can I be of service to you in COVID? Are you stuck at home because they ground you for like a month if you tested positive, right? Do you need food? Do you need water? What, like, right? Like, we don't live in Michigan. We're still allowed to mow our grass.
And
Right?
I think that's huge now, and that's the reason why everybody's pushing
But I
kindness,
didn't know it.
kindness all
It's
over the
all about
internet, you know, you've got to show you care.
Yes.
And I think that's a great strategy because the more personal you are.
100% true.
And the more trustworthy you'll be.
I had
you
a
know.
student tell me one time, I think it's important that you make sure that they believe you care. I said, I think it's more important to actually care,
Care, yeah,
right?
yeah, I mean, especially when you're a realtor, because people think that you're a liar, you have this reputation
I'm about to spend
already.
$800,000, you drive a Cadillac and work 1 hour a week.
Yeah. And they have to really feel that you're genuine.
Yes.
And that you're trustworthy.
In the poll of public opinion, realtor falls below car mechanic and attorney.
Yeah,
public hates us more than lawyers.
Lawyers, yeah, they do, yeah,
That's crazy.
they do.
It's our
yeah.
own fault.
I have a friend who's a lawyer and I'm like, hey, we're in the same boat, but the thing is that we don't have to be, you know.
What kind of a lawyer? What kind of law?
Oh, you wouldn't even know. She goes, she didn't want to tell me, but she works for the government in Homeland Security.
Okay, that's not gonna help you. You know, who we need to be friends with right now, in this kind of market,
Divorce attorney.
divorce attorneys.
No, absolutely, 100%, yeah.
We need to
because
be
they're
friends.
moving and-
We care about divorce
Yeah.
attorneys.
Yeah,
Yes,
divorce
the other
attorneys.
thing is anybody over the age of 70. Because when they die, they're probably gonna have 1 or 12 houses.
Sure.
So the divorce is awful and great for business.
112.
I got it, it happens. I have an agent here that, short story, her husband's an attorney, knew a guy that owned 28 homes in never metro area, the guy died. The judge ordered all 28 homes to be sold, the judge ordered it to be done by one agent. So he's the attorney representing the estate, and his wife's a real estate agent.
She was picking at some,
She was, except for they decided it was a conflict of interest,
oh,
my God.
that she wouldn't take them. They ended up, I don't know who they ended up using, but an angel investor came in and bought all 28 homes. Right, so a divorce attorney,
No,
absolutely,
100%. I have those
estate
friends too,
planners,
but yeah.
right?
Estate planners,
As we have seen, one of the results, I believe, of COVID and how it's been divisive of the country is the separation between the richer and the poor has gotten bigger.
Mhm.
The richer have more money, so I'm trying to be one of them, right?
Yeah.
How do rich people get out of paying taxes? Invest all their money. They need to buy houses. If you're with the right tax account, they will call you every February and say, I got a guy that needs to spend $3 million to buy and invest in homes. It's currently how the tax code is set up, right?
Yep.
So talk about the recreation and how the COVID's kind of settled. It's been like a year, whatever. You guys taking a vacation? Have you traveled anywhere? Did you go to the beach? Were you in Fort Myers last week? That sucks. Right? Whatever, talk about their recreation. What are they doing? Kids are playing sports, right? Whatever they're doing. Track all of this in command. So that next quarter, when you call them, you have all the notes. It's easier to have that recreate any of those conversations, right? They talk about the things. And what are you guys doing for the holidays this year? You know, we actually are doing a Cookies with Santa event on Saturday, December 10th here in our office. Come have your picture taken with Santa, have some cookies, meet some of my colleagues. And honestly, we will fill that foyer area. There will be a line out the door. Invite everyone you know to that, right? We're doing a Halloween thing here in the office on the 20, whatever, the 20 Friday is. for Halloween.
29th.
From, yes,
I was like, what was that?
I was
28th, the 28th, Friday,
Wow.
the 28th.
Did that come from?
I mean,
The Lord.
thank you, Jesus.
That's exactly what I thought.
From 4 to 7, this whole office will be decorated. Every office will have a different theme. And these halls will be filled with kids and trick or treaters, and it's great. Invite everyone you know with kids to come to it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You know what it costs you? $0. You already paid for it. You pay $25 a month for the event fund. You might as well take part in the events.
same with the pumpkin pickup
The
this
same with
Saturday.
the pumpkin pickup Saturday. Yep, absolutely, right? Great way. This is the perfect time of year to chat with your people because we have October, November, December. We'll have a pie event in November too. Right? It's a great time to invite people to events. It's how I do a large part of my lead generation. We'll get to my lead generation in a bit too. Because mine's a little different than most. Anyway, talk about their dreams. Right? What are you doing next year? Going on vacation next year? Kind of cross over to recreation dreams. What are your dreams? You know what? When I was a kid, I grew up, all I wanted to do was have people call me dad, and then I became a dad, and all I wanted to do was kick them out of my damn house. It changed real quick, right? Congratulations, high school graduation. Here's your luggage. You ain't gotta go. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get on up out of here, right? You know, get out. Right? Well, whatever their dreams are, find it, make a note so you can call and talk to them about it next month or next. The way it should work, your 36 touches should be one phone call a quarter. And it's just a touch base. What you're trying to do is buy mind share in their brain so that when they hear the word real estate or the words real estate, they will think of you. I got a text yesterday from the lady that cuts my hair. She said, hey, my husband and I are getting a divorce. Can you go sell our house for us? You're the only realtor I know. I know for a fact that's not true. I've seen a guy there twice that I know is a realtor. But for whatever reason, she thought of me. Maybe it's only because I more recently saw her. Doesn't matter.
Maybe she
So
doesn't know
I-
he's a realtor.
So I haven't, which is then his fault.
Right.
Right? The public hates us, and the fact that they don't know that you're a realtor is your fault. Do not be a silent realtor. Everybody should know you're a realtor. Do you want to know the easiest way to tell them? The easiest way to tell them what you do?
Ask them about their job.
Hey, I'm Ricky. You are
Melissa.
Melissa. It's nice to meet you. What do you do?
I'm a realtor.
I tell you, you're a car mechanic.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not a realtor, I'm a designer.
A designer. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
What's the reciprocal question that's going to come flying out of the mouth?
What do you
How
do?
about you? What do you do?
Get rid of the word realtor. Get rid of the word agent. Get rid of the word broker. I own a small real estate business. What's the next question out of her mouth?
What areas do you use?
Maybe, it could be, think a little bit more general.
What does that mean?
How's the market?
Hell, yeah.
Everybody wants to
Right
talk
now.
about the market.
Right now.
You know what, the market's always great. Which part of the market interests you? The buy side, the sell side, the investment side? Right, bam, tell you what, we just met, I would love to further this conversation. Can I just shoot you my phone number real quick? I don't carry business cards anymore unless I'm a mega family. I want in their phone and I want their phone number now. 100 times out of 100, they'll say yes. Shoot them a quick text, just my name. Let's finish this conversation next week, maybe we'll go have coffee. Right? 50 seconds, they know I own a real estate business, they view me as a professional and I have an appointment. Right? I say I'm a real estate agent, what happens? You go over and meet her, because you're done talking to me. Because I'm a real estate agent, and I just made you spend $750,000 for my Escalade, and I didn't do shit. I own a real estate business. I'm in real estate, right? There are keywords that you can change, that's why script practice is so important. You can change to at least start off without having everybody you know hate you. Because that makes it really difficult for business. You can still do it if you talk to the people that you want them to still have a meeting.
Your way. I like that.
Hey, look, we're halfway through day one. We will not take 2.5 hours to get through this session. It's much faster.
Yeah, that's, so I had it pulled up here. I just didn't know which one he was in.
Like this one is the Spark Your Career.
You guys can get in?
It's an order.
Yeah, that email that she sent out that had like the resources link.
Yeah.
I got
It doesn't say hidden though?
Mm-mm.
Literally, all mine say hidden. I don't think they want me in this class. Ricky, is there something you should
Oh, is that what we
say?
were in?
There's something I should know.
Yeah. Where?
It was the one.
Okay.
There's nothing that I know that you don't, I can tell you that.
They all say in the yellow highlighted like verbiage, hidden slide, and if you click into it,
Oh, yeah.
they're all
It does say
locked.
hidden slide.
That's a doozy.
It does say hidden slide.
Can you still click on it then? Or did you just get kicked out of the market center too?
Yeah, no, it's,
Like all blank, like hidden locked.
yeah, they all have a eyeball.
Participation. Yeah, yours are
Like
hidden too.
slideshow?
except for the participation. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
if you
yeah.
do
The
slideshow,
only
like
one they want
slideshow.
us to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So just play slideshow, like go to the top right, hit
Oh,
play
and then it'll-
slideshow, and it's actually showing you the slides.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Come on, aren't you like the IT guy?
Yeah, but.
Come on,
Dude,
computer
you walked
guy.
into-
Wow, way to really dig me under the bus.
Clearly Lisa's here to make friends. All right. 6 core competencies.
Now, where
Lead
is?
generate, capture, and
Slideshows.
convert to appointments.
You gotta
It's like
open
I
it
just
first.
did that. Totally faked it.
It's section 2. So I think it's this one right there. Yeah. And then you'll click slideshow for the top. No, mine's still locked.
I'm gonna actually go get the AT department.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
shoot.
Is it not working for you?
No,
What I did, I got it.
yeah, but yours doesn't open though. Oh, did I just not scroll?
Yeah, you can
Why
just
is mine
scroll.
like different?
Did I just?
Yeah,
make
see,
it
it's
more?
working.
Oh my gosh.
But we're in a different folder
No,
now.
no, no, no.
No, please, please.
I love it when I do something like that.
It's like
I
open
just
up your
never mind.
eyes.
She walks in and be like, not me, I'm fine.
Yeah. My name is definitely not Zach. It's gotta be someone
I
else
do
in this
that. I
room.
go like, what's my name?
Yeah. I wasn't the one that needed help.
We got it. He got it. He just had to press play.
We're good.
You really made me
Never
walk all the way to
mind.
Amy's office for no reason. You're on my list now, Zach.
You made me get up from my nice comfy
Yes.
chair.
Oh,
So.
Okay,
Jack up. Thank you, Amy. Your general presence is appreciated.
I hope everybody in here is staying for the script thing afterwards, because it's gonna be super fun.
The script off?
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Why do we even need to do it? We know who's gonna win.
Ooh.
Gwen, she always wins that.
She
Although
may not
she's
get
in
to
her photo
play.
shoot, she may not be playing.
That's right.
I got a shot. I'm always the bridesmaid in those things.
Bridesmaid, yeah.
Yes, always the bridesmaid.
Yeah.
I was in a second.
But I have some
Bride, always the
gold
All
for
right.
you guys.
Amy, can we join via Zoom?
Yeah,
You're like already on my bad side.
but you're already here.
Yeah.
We
Why
don't
would
know
wanna
if you can. It's
join
in your
in?
house.
guy who
Download
can't
that,
get
you
it.
know.
That's not fun.
So give me one really good reason why you would have to join via Zoom if you're already here.
Well, I have a son at home that may need to be taken out because it's been.
Take it out.
That's
6
really,
hours.
like, we need to think about our words. right?
He's like a four-legged fluffy one
Is he a
though, right?
Yeah, with a little bladder.
A little bladder.
I mean, let's just shoot
I
it.
suffer
Is he a
from mommy
teeny
flatter too. It happens.
Is he a small son?
He's 49 pounds, but
Oh, that's
he's
a medium four-year-old's going.
medium size. Yeah. Large, extra large.
All right.
That's better. It's cheaper to go home than it is for places.
Yeah.
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 It was just what you said, I got a son that needs
Excuses,
taken out.
excuses.
You're like, whoa. You're gonna go murder my kid. I'll be back on lawn. She's gonna run on the lawn and murder.
Oh, man, no. Oh, no. That's rough. I'll be right back.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the 6 core competencies, the skills that you guys need to develop as you go through this process of running real estate. Lead generate, capture and convert to appointments. You need contact information. I said earlier, email addresses, street addresses, phone numbers, name, and birthday if you can get it. Right, send people birthday cards. But we, if you participate in snail mail, I check mine once a month. What's in there? Bills. Right, send them a birthday card.
I don't even want to check.
They'll open it and then they'll remember you.
Oh, awesome.
Present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. You need to work on, you need to have a buyer presentation, you need to have a listing presentation. We will help you build those. We will have workshops where you come in, and that's what we do that day. We're gonna spend however much time on building your buyer presentation. We're gonna work with you on how to build your listing presentation. We want that to look like. Right, because you can make it look anything you want. It's one of the beauties of real estate.
So,
You can do any way you want.
so is there like a class for that, or can we just come in and ask you to help us? or-
Both, you can do both. But we'll have in the group coaching sessions, we'll have a day where it's, hey, we're gonna do nothing but come and work on your buyer's presentation. Right? How does that go? How long does that take? What does it look like? What are the questions I ask? What are they gonna ask me? Right? All that stuff.
They had some really excellent visuals at Smedra with some buyer presentations to show how the market's looking and like historical with the rates. and
Gotta
stuff
get
like
people
that.
comfortable with the
Yeah.
rates. Yep.
Yeah, and how
Help
it's
you put all that
taken
together.
years for the rates to change and stuff like that, so it's like, don't be scared,
Nope.
kind of thing.
Show buyers and market sellers. Yep. You gotta learn how to show homes, right? So this is my little fun story on that. First buyers I ever showed a home to. And I get the code, it doesn't really dawn on me what the code is. I walk up and it's a dial-up lock box like our lockers in junior high. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you the cutest girl in my 7th grade class, they lined us up alphabetically for lockers. My last name is Giansani. My last name is Garris, I'm right next to her. I'm the oldest of 4 kids, I don't have any older siblings, I went to East Junior High in Casper, Wyoming. So I walk up, she's standing in her locker, and I'm trying to open my locker. I'm in 7th grade, my fingers don't work, I'm ice cold, I'm dripping in sweat, and I can't figure out how the locker dial works, right? So fast forward the rest to that point in my life, I walk up to the door and there's that same lock and yeah, suddenly I'm a 7th grader. I'm a 12-year-old standing next to the super hot 12-year-old chick and I can't open the lock. So there is a process to learning how to show buyers, right? I do this all the time. Don't do it, Ricky, don't do it, Ricky, don't do it, Ricky does it. You walk in, here's the bathroom. Well, good, what luck they have you to point out what room that is in the house. Because they had no idea that was the bathroom until I told them. Right, they're like, damn, I don't think our bed's gonna fit in there. I think we have Ricky to tell us that's the bathroom, right? Hopefully he tells us where the kitchen and the garage are next, because we're lost. Talk about the features of a home when you show it. Hey, the counter, granite, easy to clean, right? Point out what might be wrong. There's no main level bathroom. There's no main level powder room. Is that gonna be an issue for you guys, right? This is a huge one. The most agents don't think to point out when they're showing homes. Is there access from the garage to the house? Or do you have to go outside? Because there is nothing worse than having buyers that are ecstatic on closing day. You found them everything, they call you and they say, we hate this house. We went to the grocery store and we came back in a blizzard and we have to walk outside and get the groceries in the house. And they were pissed at me. For a minute, I was able to talk them out of it, get them to take some ownership of it at the same time, like, that's my fault, I never pointed that out, right? So like, I come over with Sawzall if you want, like, hang a shower rod, like, I can get you access, it's not gonna be legal, but I can get it, right? It's the right way to show homes, right, negotiate contracts, everyone should take Donna's contract cycle at least once live, either on Zoom or, but she only does Zoom, right? She doesn't do it in person, right?
Yeah.
You should do at least one round live, and then you can go back through the videos, right? When you go to write your first offer, you should have a template, right? Your first try at an offer, you don't want it to be a live offer, because you'll have a stroke, right? You need to have a practice offer, right? So go through those contracts class, call me and I'll look up some address to the MLS. You can write a fake offer to me for that listing. So that you have a template when you go to write your first one. I did not do that when I started my career. My first offer took 8.5 hours. And that was 10 years ago when the contract was like 5 pages less.
They also teach you in CTM, because I just took that yesterday and it was like, she was talking, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
But she was talking about creating templates and I was like, whoa, you can like almost
Yes.
copy. If one is like pretty much the same outline, you can just copy
And
and
then
create
you
a
only
new
have to
folder.
go in and put in the variables, dates,
What's that?
deadlines, stuff like that.
CTME contracts,
Our
like
contracts.
documents.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, yeah, no, I'm listening, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just super helpful. I mean, honestly, I should have taken the beginner class first, because
Yeah.
part of this, I was like, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
But then like, I think you just pick it up, like, kind of,
Yes. Watch every training video you can
Yeah.
in CTM.
Okay,
right?
but
that's good.
you register.
I can write up buyer agency agreement, the 4 docs of the buyer agency agreement that we require, can literally write it up in less than 5 minutes because I have them all templated. I literally just have to
That's
go
good to
in,
know.
assign
Yeah,
the
if you need any help,
contacts,
like,
Okay.
assign from the right contacts, when auto fills all the names. There's a couple of manual boxes in the working definitions. I use working definitions because it irritates our attorney a little bit, and I don't want to irritate our attorney once in a while. Last time we got argued on me, I don't know how he did it. I didn't know you could do it, but I was in a Zoom class and he got so mad at me, he permanently muted me. Couldn't unmute. And to this day, I'll tell you, I'm right, he's wrong.
I'm right, he's wrong.
The buyer's advisory, the company advisory, then the actual exclusive right to buy, and they're auto populated, I can send them out in 3 minutes. Right, listing agreement stuff can take longer because there's 3 or 4 times as many docs. There's not as much that you can auto populate. It takes a little bit longer on the listing side. All right, negotiate contracts, win-win or no deal. Coordinate the sale to closing. Manage the money. Right, you pay, manage your money, pay your taxes. When I see manage money, all I see is pay your taxes.
Yeah, separate
If
that
you
out.
have any extra money
Well-
around, you want to pay some of mine, feel free.
You know, Ricky, I'm just gonna share this just because I feel like I can relate to you. When I got out of the military, I was a heavy haul truck driver. So I joined a flatbed division and drove tractor trailers for 1.5 years. And in 2014, I made like over 6 digits and I was like, oh, this is super cool. I have free money.
Yeah.
And forgot to pay my taxes. And I actually just paid my last payment in January of this year, but
Congrats.
I owed back taxes from 2014. And they would always just, the IRS would send me these bills and I'm like, you know, when you're younger, you're like, you know, I'll pay it back later on in life, but everything comes back to you.
Yeah, and when you
Yeah.
get later on in life, you have to pay it back, guess what, it's way more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the full story on my taxes, right? 11 months before I finally decided to get my taxes squared away, I go to the DMV to do my tax. Nope, your account's frozen until you pay $470. And pay $470 in a minute.
Ricky,
I call them.
what a little pirate you are.
Yeah, except for they found my treasure. I don't get to keep any of it. So I call them, I'm like, all right, how much do I have to pay to be able to get my tags? $7,900.
What?
I owe them $7,900.
For 470?
Yeah,
Damn.
You were just free.
it had been 9 years since I paid my last. Right?
So you
I didn't know that's how they tracked that.
were just
They
like.
track it through this, yes, they track it through the state. And when you go to get your fuel money, you can't register your car, right? So I had to work a deal out with them. I spent $1,900 that day, made a $500 a month payment for a year. And the way it all worked out, I made my last payment to them and the next month, because it was already in my budget for $500 a month, so that my car was legal, because I'm a realtor, I need my car to be legal. And I just rolled that over into my IRS tax payment for the first year of $500 a month, and then it went to $700. So I've been paying a minimum of $500 a month for being financially irresponsible for like 4 years now.
That's gotta hurt.
It does hurt, it sucks, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta own it, that's me.
Yeah.
No one held me accountable to it, so it got really expensive, right? And that's all on me, so I'm telling you, pay your 470 tolls. Right? And pay your taxes. Yet, there's a loophole there. As long as you are squared away and you have filed all your taxes with the IRS, as long as you owe them $50,000 or less, they will not put a tax lien on you, and you can still go buy one house a year, because I do not have to report that to my lender.
That's true.
My lender does not know I have a $700 a month payment to the IRS.
Yeah, because they can take your paycheck if
Yes,
you owe
they
anything
can
more than
garnish it
50.
and all that. So when I squared that away, the next year after $7,900, after $1,900 and making the payment to them, I had to pay $18,000 to the IRS to get under $50,000 to avoid the tax lien.
That's why I waited till 2019 to start paying.
Yeah. So don't make the mistakes I did, make your own. You're gonna argue something about my business, that is not what you should rip off. All right, functionary versus fiduciary. Be the fiduciary. One thing you should probably know about me, especially if we sit down for a one-on-one, is I have what is called essential tremors. So if I have a really bad day, it'll look just like Parkinson's. I have it mostly in my hands. All my siblings have it in their head. Like I can't even talk to my sister. her head, like it looks like she's saying no, like she looks like those oscillating fans. Her head turns so bad. So if you see me having a really bad day, my hands are shaking, don't be alarmed. It means one of two things. It means one of one thing, it means I haven't taken my gabapentin, I take gabapentin before it keeps it at bay. So I'm not an alcoholic. It's not this, I don't get the shakes, the withdrawals, but you'll see me sometimes with my hands are really, really bad. So I have to use like a dialer on the mouse, drive me crazy.
So you're not gonna venture off to be a surgeon, I guess?
No,
Okay.
no, when I was in the military, I was a corpsman, I was a phlebotomist.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would not have lasted.
I guess.
Here, I want to get blood.
Sure you are.
Sure, well, I'm gonna get blood, one way or the other. The question is how big of a hole do I have to get? Can I get into the vein,
Yeah.
right?
Hold my hand real quick.
Yes,
I think I did.
100% true.
Sometimes I.
Yeah,
like,
remember the peanut butter
you
shot
know,
and
and
the
I
lunch
just
shot?
stay up all night long and
That's
stuff,
like one of
and
the
my
few
hands
things I
start
remember
shaking,
from base
And
career
then I'm like, I can't do that, and then I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to do something for my stepdaughter, and then I'll be like, my hands
Good
are
old
shaking.
reception.
Can you hold this?
The worst day I ever had was about 5.5 years ago. I had the girl I was dating, we've been on 2 dates, we went to lunch at the mall and I couldn't eat. The table shaking was so bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Do you have to hold your hand to like eat or
It
something?
won't even work. No, that was just, it was
It
just
won't
that
even
bad one day.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, because I'm trying to get one hand to stop shaking with another
The other
hand
one
that
starts
shakes and it
shaking?
just gets
Oh.
worse. They do make when it gets to a certain point where the gabapentin doesn't work anymore,
Yeah,
which according to my doctor will probably be 8 to 10 more years.
yeah.
They make weighted gloves that I can wear that will have weights on the tips. You seen those? Yeah, that will help calm them down.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have Parkinson's, I'm not suffering from withdrawals, it just happens. I was like, I'm just really happy to shake your hand.
Oh, okay.
All right, accountability. Choose an accountability partner. I think this is really, really important. It should be your coach. But I don't really care who it is, other than do not let it be your significant other. That cannot be your accountability partner. Relationships are hard enough without them barking at you that you didn't do your lead gen today. You don't need that in your life,
You'd be like, don't yell at me.
right? The best accountability I ever had was my son when he was 14. Because what did I do every night to him? What was my question to him every night? Is your homework done? Now, my son was a lot of things when I raised him, and pain in the ass was number one. He was not a liar. If I said, is your homework done? I would get the yes or no. Are you going to do it? I would get the yes or no. If he said no, the fight was on, but he stood his ground. But what an incredible accountability partner for me. Did you do your homework? Yeah. Did you do your lead gen?
Ah, man.
Shit. I'm not telling him no, and he has always at least given me the respect of being honest. And I do not want to have to get in a fight with a 14-year-old over them not doing their homework when I didn't do their homework. And then on the really cocky days, I'd be like, no, and he'd be like, that's cool. I didn't want any food with my meal in 90 days anyway, thanks. Okay, but he was the best one because I was not going to tell him no. Here's another trick. I have a MAPS coach. My MAPS calls are currently scheduled for every Monday at 8:30. I pay a lot of money to her. We got to a point, I've been working with her since basically May of 2017, really full on since April of 18. We got to a point on accountability where she's like, we need to stretch, we got to make it better. So I'm not an extremist politically, but I'm not a moderate either. I do lean one way or the other. So she made me write her a check for $500 to the party that I do not support. She said, the first time you show up and don't do what your agreement is, I'm mailing this check. That was in the spring of 2019, and that check is still sitting in her desk because she will mail that over my dead body. That is not happening. Greatest accountability ever, right? You gotta follow through with your action items. Listen and pay attention while other people share, right? I think there's some freedom and some hooray when you're the accountability person for someone else. They can say, hey, you know, Lisa, I didn't get my stuff done last week. You can have reasons or results. Either way, you're choosing them, right? Let's talk about what got in the way. How can I help support you? How can I help make sure that you, Marnie, can get your goals this week, right? There's power in that, right? And If you're like, hey, Marty, did you meet your lead gen goals last week? Yeah, I set 3 appointments, I held all of them, I converted 2 of them. I did all my lead gen, I agreed, I had all my goals. You're like, that's fantastic, Marty, but how'd you do? You don't want to be the one that's like, nope, didn't do it. Right, so that accountability partner is gonna say yes to you, and you're gonna say yes to them, because neither one of you want to say no to the other one, right? And integrity dictates that we tell the truth, right? Set a frequency, dig deep into finding into the why you do the things you do, know your big why, right? Respect each other, create a commitment, stick to it. Be open to receiving feedback, give specific feedback, and always have the other person's best interest at heart, right? What happens the first week of January every year in our country?
Everybody goes on a diet.
Everybody goes on a diet, everyone goes to the gym, right? I wanna own a piece of property and put a gym's worth of weights and stuff in it till January 8th, and then it's a bar. Right? Or the picture was going around the internet a couple years ago, that was a gym that was like kind of built on a hill in a bit of a strip mall that had escalators in front of it.
Right.
I don't know, man, it seems to me if you're a gym, just put damn stairs in front of it, but whatever, right? But if you have a partner that's gonna meet you at the gym every day, you're going to go so much longer every day because you don't want to be the person that lets that person down. If they got their butt up at 5 o'clock to meet you at the gym, you're not gonna just leave them hanging. Because you don't want to be that person, right? Don't be that person. To get an accountability partner, it can be your coach. If you ask me to meet at the gym at 5 a.m., I'm gonna tell you no. Colorfully, no. The daily success tracker. Accountability partner, check in daily. Did you do your shit done today? Cool. No? All right, well, let's talk about that. What got in the way? That's it. Right? Yes or no, what got in the way? How can I help protect that time? Right? Whatever that's gonna look like. Right? If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Everything you do needs to be measurable. How much time did I spend on it? How much money did I spend on it? How big did I need it to be? How small did I need it to be? Whatever that, it has to be measurable. I have to be able to measure it on some way, otherwise you can't get better, right? When I took the idea of what we wanted to do with the coaching program to Michael last week, and I said, here's my vision, here's what I want it to look like. And he goes, great, how do we track it? And I was like, I'll get back to you. And I walked out, I went back to the conversation because I hadn't included anything trackable. Now everything going on I do is trackable. Recruiting, teaching students, time spent teaching, count, like it's all trackable. And if you don't track it, you can't duplicate it. You can't say, you know what, 5 contacts today, that's my goal. 5 contacts today. Right? You can't get to 10 until you get to 5. You just said, I'll hear this. Well, how much money do you want to make this next year? As much as I can.
Not a measurable.
That's not a measurable goal. We gotta be able to measure something. And it's your goal. I don't care what the answer is. I just need to know what the answer is. Right? As much as I can does not work. It's not measurable. You have to be able to measure, right? How fast are you going? Or database. Start with your sphere. Everybody in your sphere should know you're a realtor now. Hey, I landed with Keller Williams. Just wanted you to know, that's it, not asking for business. You can if you want. Right? Now it's on Facebook, so everyone in your sphere just knows you're a realtor. Right? Really critically important to your business is if you don't have a database, you don't have a business. You just don't. You could sit in an open house, maybe someone buys it, but probably not. Call this again. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. I'm a big believer in self-fulfilling prophecies. I'm actually, well, you know, I can go further. I'm a big believer in manifestation. Here's my manifestation story. Got a lady that I know that we went to high school together, right? I'm friends with her on Facebook. I don't know since Facebook got invented. We were not really friends in high school. We knew each other. We met at different crowds, whatever. You know? I saw her at our 10-year reunion, I saw her at our 20-year reunion, I saw her at our 30-year reunion. And she had one child graduate from being impressed with our daughters apparently that year. So I'm scrolling through Instagram one day, because that's what realtors do. And there's a picture of her husband standing there in front of a deck that he built. And it turns out her husband's a general contractor. I was like, I need to know him. I need vendors, I need plumbers, electricians, you know, appliance guys, whatever. Like, I need to know a general contractor, because it's sort of all of those things. So as usual with me, I'm like, I need to reach out to him, I need to reach out to him, I need to reach out to him. Never reached out to him. Never reached out to his wife about it either. 3 weeks ago, I bowl on Wednesday nights. My hobby, my passion away from work is bowling. So I bowl on Wednesday nights, our league starts at 8. Standing at the bar, I get my beer, I turn around and she is standing right in front of me. And I was like, she started to say something and I was like, nope, I need a minute. Because this is the creepiest thing, like me speechless, which it doesn't happen very often. So now I have a new general contractor in my life. And I do not believe luck or coincidence, it has to be manifestation.
What about ESP?
And
ESP? No, not N.
What? I don't know that I fully believe in it, and I cannot tell you I don't either. I think some of that stuff's pretty,
Yeah.
I don't know. I love ESPN, I didn't name my kids that's it.
God, I'm slow today.
I'll talk slower for you.
Anybody see Blended?
All right, talked about role play, right? Get in the scripts class. After Ignite is over, or Mondays and Tuesdays right now, we'll give you guys all the link you can participate in the regional script practice. So that when you're in an elevator riding down the 7th floor, of wherever you're at that has 7 floors, and you hear someone on the phone talking to their significant other, and they're like, yeah, I know, we gotta sell our house. You know what to say, right? Because you can't jump in with, I'm a realtor. Can't do it, right? Want to start a real estate conversation? Go to houseofmagnets.com, get your name tag. Get your name tag, it's Keller Williams, Lisa Love, right? You have one. When you go out public, wear it upside down. You wear it, people in line side up, they'll know your name is Lisa. But if you wear it upside down, every person that you see will tell you it's upside down.
And they'll go looking at your name.
And they'll look at it and you go, well, this is so I remember my name. It's really good. I did it on purpose. So when I look like this, I can read my name or whatever, but wear it upside down. People will start conversations with you. There you go. Guess what I do for a living? It's not trust myself. Right? I think this is important. Celebrate your successes. I don't care how big or small you think they are. Make your bet. Right? I hit 4 golf balls yesterday. 2 of them I topped. The 3rd one was all right. The 4th one I crushed and I was done. I got back issues. I got mobility issues in my lower back. I can't twist. Right? And I was like, I feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna go have a drink. Right? So find the wins and celebrate them. Make your bet. Right? If you can't get to 10 people in your database today, can you get to 1? Start with 1. If I was gonna write a book on how to motivate people, especially agents, I would call it Start with 1. I don't care what you're doing, start with 1, right? I think about quarterbacks in the NFL, rookie quarterbacks in the NFL, right? They come in, they take over a team, the team's awful. They had all this success in college, now the team's awful, right? Their biggest opportunity for growth is from the end of their first season to the start of their second season. They don't have to move. They don't have to worry about season tickets. They don't have to worry about family. They don't have to worry about their contract and their attorneys. And they can just put themselves into the system, learn the playbook. And so that's why second-year quarterbacks tend to have a little bit more success than they did their rookie year. And then by their 3rd year, you can have super high expectations for them. It's the same in real estate. The first time you do anything, chances are pretty good you're gonna suck. And that's okay. You're not all gonna be good at everything. I suck on the phone, I'm terrible. Right? But you put me in a room of 100 people, I'm gonna come out with 99 friends on one guy that don't like me, and I'm not gonna live with that ratio. Right? Don't make me call them. Text them, I'm calling all over, there's no way, I suck at it, right? So you get to, so when you do stuff, you get to learn what you suck at. The reciprocal is you get to learn what you're really good at, and then you can just go do that, and then you're excited to do it. And celebrate your successes. Trust me, as the coach, one of the two coaches, I want to know your first appointment, I want to know your first contract, I want to know your first listing, your first closing, all the firsts. Because those are big deals. We have a bell up front. You start ringing it every time everyone has a success story of any kind that they love. And when we ring that bell, I expect everyone in the hallways to scream, woo, whatever, right? So we're gonna celebrate successes because it makes the non-successes a little bit easier to deal with, right? Hey, found one way not to write an inspection objection, that didn't work, right? All right, prepare for your next session. Connect with your market. Tammy Horner will be here tomorrow. She's all of a 2-year-old agent. I think her license is 2 years old.
I saw her on Facebook. She has a lot of deals.
She does have a lot of deals. She works a pretty decent price point, right? I am also a big believer that you are a sum total of 5 people you hang out with most. Take the 5 closest people in your life and average their income-ish, because you can't, I mean, sometimes your best friends you can ask, but you know, it's not polite society to ask what they make. Take the 5, take an average, and I'll bet you that's right around where your income is going. Tammy hangs out with people who make more income than me. You know where my lead jet is? In the bowling alley. Do you know who does not have any money? Bowlers. Because we spend all our money on tournaments that we can't win for small prize fund and make us go buy 2 more bowling balls. Because if I'd had the right ball in the bag, I would have bowled one better. Bullshit. Hit your mark, right? But that's the main part of my lead gen. We do a thing called the Eliminator. It's a tournament sponsored by, well, I sponsor it. It's run by Arapahoe Lanes, right over here. People whose house I bought, he's the marketing director over there. He's the grandson of the guy who built the bowling alley. Will be his one day. Wow, good guy to know, right? So during the summer, when there's no leagues going on, our big scratch league's not going on, we do these eliminator tournaments on Friday nights. They last about 4.5 hours. We stream them on Facebook. I got a partner and I sit there every Friday night all summer long and do the play-by-play bowling tournament. And I love it. It's pretty cool. It's like 90% of my business comes out of that, right? That's why my lead gen looks differently, because my big lead gen is sponsorships. That's a slow burn, right? You don't just write one check for $300 and then get a deal out of it. It's a slow burn. But everyone knows me as Ricky the Realtor and the guy who buy you a shot of Fireball. Everyone knows me that way, right? So I've had people call me and email me out of the blue that I've helped. I'm like, wow, I would have never known that. I have a bowling couple now, they're married, they both bowl with me. I tried for 3 years, they were convinced they couldn't afford them. Can't afford them. And I hit them with every script I had. You can't afford not to. You're paying 100% interest in rent. Never get all of them. And I was like, for 3 years, I was like, will you just sit down and talk with me one-on-one, please? Just talk with me. Finally, she was like, if I do that, will you shut up? And I said, yes. Punchline, 9 weeks later, they closed. Here's what this blew my mind. I was like, how much do you make? They said X. I said, what do you think your credit score is? They said, why? I'm like, all right, that might work, right? What kind of house do you want? They said, no, this is kind of what we're looking for. Great. So, okay, so it's the day before closing, everything's done, we're closing tomorrow. And I call you and I say, all right, go wire X amount of dollars to the closing company for your cash to close. What's a comfortable amount for you to be able to do that? And she goes, 100,000. Excuse me, how much? 100,000. So they ended up spending 79,000. Would have never known. Buy a house? Are you kidding me? Buy 2. You're flying off the shelves. Right? All right. We have as much time as the next 50 minutes as we want to spend. I want you guys to talk to me about some ahas from today. What's the most exciting thing you learned today? I think everyone can answer. Including you, Anthony and Nikki.
There's always an opportunity that lies in front of you. I mean, you just have to take the risk.
I love that. Yep, true story. Who's next? Don't make me point. Rude. Come on.
I need to switch it up instead of saying realtor or real estate agent, just so that way I can be more trustworthy, you know what I mean? Be more creative.
Yep.
Yeah.
It comes with some instant credibility and stops them from hating you on the spot.
Yeah, especially because of reputation.
Yep.
So I didn't think
Yep.
about that up front, but I'm glad that you mentioned
Yep.
that, so.
Work on the things you can control.
Absolutely true.
Great.
That's true beyond even real estate, even in life. What can I control? What can I
Yeah.
not control?
Definitely.
I literally told Ryan Davis yesterday, I don't want to be on the team because I don't want to be held accountable. And like-
Guess what?
Like, I'm getting smacked in the face with that here, like I'm getting emotional about it because it's like, I've got to get out of my own way. Where's the tissues? You said I'd come to you to cry. And like,
Like that.
I
They
really
don't
feel
usually,
like
they don't usually cry at night. They're not prepared.
I'm just an emotional person.
I know.
And like, I know that every single one of you in here is gonna be a friend and an accountability partner. And like, I'm glad that we're doing this together.
And this is a safe place. It is. This room, when we're group coaching or at night and those doors are closed, this is a safe environment. You can say whatever you feel. You're gonna feel whatever you're gonna feel. Right?
I feel like it's great that we're
It's
kind of
safe.
all going through this together.
Yep.
We all have our different reasons and like our different business model. You might want to make $1 million this year because I don't, that doesn't make my real estate any, less important. I
No,
still.
it does not.
And what's
It's interesting. It's interesting to me. This is my first thought with you, saying you're emotional about the accountability part, right?
Yeah.
When you're in your other career, every interaction gets tracked. Everything goes
I
in their
know.
chart.
Yeah,
Is that not just for accountability?
it's 100%. It's CYA.
So why do you think you would be scared of it in a new industry versus that's just part of the job,
Right.
right? Would that not kind of be the same here? Like that's just part of it?
I think because like I feel like my business model is different from like the rock star,
Yep.
realtor.
Yep.
And so I feel like that it can't align. It like, I can't work with Ryan Davis because he expects me to do 400 calls a day and I don't want somebody telling me to do that.
Nope.
Basically was.
You are the way wrong personality to be on Ryan Davis's team. You just are. Let me rephrase that. Ryan Davis is the wrong person on the team if you want to be on the team.
Yeah.
Screw that guy. Ryan's a big bully, right? That's just what he does. That's how he's gonna do 40 million this year though, in gross sales commitment, gross sales volume.
Right.
But that's okay too.
And he looks like a terrorist truck driver. His beard's all crooked.
Yeah.
His shirt looks like he freshly slept in it.
And he's loud.
He's loud.
But that's
He's got his hat on, the baseball hat, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you, $40 million.
I know.
He owns real estate in Cobblestone Ranch.
Yeah.
Owns it. He'll have 3,000 people at his Easter party next year. That's his lead gen.
Yeah.
He doesn't pound out lead gen phone calls. He says he does his line out his ass. But I hear you, right? Just remember, accountability doesn't have to be bad,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't. And I will have tissues, I promise,
So that was my aha.
for you. Marty?
Being a stay-at-home mom, I think I would say meet more people, like I was in a cave for long years. I think
Yes.
like just coming here makes you feel like motivated to work more.
That's awesome. Find a mom group.
Yeah,
You are
that,
not-
I
You are
have,
not
yeah.
the only mom that's got a 10-month-old.
I'm actually
Oh.
starting to like,
There's
events on
dealing, there's
Facebook.
dealing, moms, right?
Yeah,
Moms of pain in the shins or whatever it
walk in the
stands for,
park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? I've had 2 agents that I coached back when I was the coach before that got both of them got their first transactions from moms. There's business to be made there, and I'm glad. Get up, dress up, show up,
yes, I'm.
right? That's
I'm
awesome.
following events in our neighborhood, like
Yes.
those, yeah.
That's
And that will come
fantastic.
to fruition.
Anthony, you still awake?
Yeah, give me a second. I'm on the phone with the listing agent.
Okay, yay. Nikki,
Yeah, so mine is what really struck me was, if I died tomorrow, what would I want them to say about me, or what would they say about me? And I know that they would say that I am the person that they can always call. something hits anywhere in the country, I will be there on the drop of a dime. What I would like them to say is that, yes, I do that, but I also live my life to thrive, not just to survive. Because the things I do right now, I sacrifice a lot of, my livelihood and being able to thrive, where I could still do these things to help other people while also thriving.
Yep.
So I could have those real estate conversations helping people and not just sacrificing.
That is a fact. We were gonna get you there. Oh, you did. We're supposed to 17 on today.
A couple things. I mean, this was a good little session here. I'd say, going from a career where I was a college professor, where you are trusted, where people do count on you, that you don't man those problems, to 2 careers where you mentioned real estate and being a politician aren't really exactly on the whole high integrity list. And so when you go from that transition, in my mind, going from, okay, now these are things you have to really, make peace with and exude and show that you are character, integrity. And those are some of the things I wrote in the whole funeral exercise, that how people would look at me. That's what I want people to look at me in terms of that. I'd say, kind of like what you're talking about, accountability versus where you're at with making, $1 million, because this entire summer, really going back, starting with the primary and obviously campaigning for the general election November 8th, I've been doing a lot of free work. I mean, we're talking, I'm number 3 in the state in terms of our party, in terms of knocking doors. And I don't get paid for that. You're no money for that. I want to be able, win or lose, to be able, because if I win, I'm going to be more obviously part-time because I'm going to be in the state legislature. If I lose, I kind of want to look at your goal, and I want to take what I've done this summer, all that work, and be able to put it all into real estate and go after it.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's all this is kind of like, focus that a little
What
bit.
I think of with you is like your life from day 1 to today is a movie, right? And if I said to you, and you're kind of based on, if I win, I'm doing X, if I don't win, I'm doing Y.
Yeah.
And the last scene in the movie is, tired of making the decision, I'm gonna flip a coin and see what it says. And the coin goes up, and as it starts to go down, you fade out, the audience never finds out if it landed on it. Right? That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna just teach a thing real quick, right? How to write the correct schedule for a realtor.
That'd be great. I gotta run some.
Do you know this? You and I covered this shit?
I don't know.
Probably not. We will on Friday.
I'm gonna review the Zoom when I get home.
I don't think it's, I don't know if she recorded it. Maybe she did, I don't know. If not, we'll go through this, it's pretty easy. Here's how to write, work your schedule. Next week's schedule, what's the first thing that goes in it?
Your big why.
I was just kidding.
Well, I'm talking about literally writing your schedule though. Oh. But your big why is always.
My day off.
Stop saying the answer, we did this yesterday. Your day off, right? So, okay, we're just gonna start with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Oh, you're looking for a
Friday.
week, okay,
Saturday. We're gonna write a weekly schedule.
okay.
I write it this way because look what the calendar says, even after Tuesday, it says what? All right, first thing that goes in, what's your day off? Right, just X out, just say it's Sunday. Gotta have a day off, even you. You gotta take time off because otherwise by November 8th, you're a zombie.
Yeah.
And as a country, I don't care which party, we're not electing another zombie.
Trust me, it hit me probably the beginning of September.
Yes, you gotta take time away, right? Self-care. All right, what's the next thing that goes in?
Well, actually, I start my planning on Sunday for the entire week. I
Okay.
just started doing.
So you can put like at 8:00 PM, right? You can put like a, like a schedule review if you want. Right? Something like that. Because here's the thing, once you get this built out correctly, it's not about real estate, it's about following the schedule. People ask me, what are you doing tomorrow at 10? I don't know, whatever's on my schedule.
This is a really good Monday morning, like the 8:30 call,
Yeah.
because it's a good way to start your.
Yep.
you know, your
And then we
week.
also do a 9 AM mastermind. You guys are all welcome to show up. It's just a Zoom mastermind. We just talk about stuff,
Mhm.
whatever. All right, but anyway, get back to the right way to do this. What goes on your schedule next? Nikki? Well, now she's just hiding.
It's the personal time.
Personal time, right? You got 8, 10-year-olds, right? You know?
I got 15 minutes, yeah.
Yes, right? You got doctor appointments and concerts to go to.
Oh, I see
and-
what you're doing.
Right?
I
So that's like, okay, so Monday at 11, I gotta be at school because whatever, right? Tuesday at 4, we have doctor appointments. Nikki, last Thursday at 9 AM had orthodontist. That was like 3 hours for her daughter's getting braces on, right? On Friday, I'm having lunch with the wife, right? That goes in
You're
there.
blocking out.
And your time blocking out, it's important to do this in the right order. Your personal time, date night, Saturday night's date night, Cinder will be here at 8. Right, you have to block off your personal time. What's the next thing that goes into your schedule?
Appointments.
Not yet.
Okay.
They are appointments, but it's your education. What is the class you gotta take, right? New aging. Closings 101 is Friday at 9. I need to be there for that class. Right? There's a lead gen class on Wednesday. There's a team meeting, which I believe team meeting falls under education. And then there's a lead gen class after that. Every morning at 8:30 is script practice. That goes in there, right? All your education, we're required it. If you stay in front of your CE requirements, you get to choose the classes you want to go to. Nobody wants to sit through a 2-hour CE class on December 29th on water rights. It sucks. Ever heard? Okay, now you got all your education in there, right? What's left? Lead gen time. Lead gen, lead gen, lead gen, lead gen, lead gen. Lead gen, lead gen is your, whatever you're doing for lead gen and your lead follow-up. We met earlier and you found out I was a realtor and I was like, hey, I had to go, but can I call you next week? Right? That's where that goes. That's lead follow-up. So we're meeting on Monday at 5 for a happy hour. It's my lead gen time, right? Your appointment time. This is where you put your appointment time. You know what? So based on what I've got going on next week, I know that Tuesday morning can be appointment time. Wednesday afternoon and evening can be appointment time. Thursday I'm good in the afternoon. Friday I'm pretty full, but I could squeeze one in if I needed to. Geometry aside. So she says, you know what? I went home and I talked to my guy and yeah, we'd really like to talk to you about selling our house. Awesome. I pull out my calendar. I can do Tuesday from 10 to noon, or I can do Wednesday from 5 to 7. Well, that's my appointment time. Which do you prefer? Right? Friday at 5 right now, I have a listing appointment. Or sorry, on Thursday at 5, I have a listing appointment. Which means now up here, sometime the day before, I have to do my listing appointment preparation. And when we get to working with buyers or sellers, we'll talk about what that looks like to prepare. It's also why you need to have buyer agency presentation and listing presentation to go at any moment. Right? When my barber lady called me, texted yesterday, I was like, yeah, I can do tonight at 5 or Thursday at 5, which do you prefer? She was like, can you do tonight at 5:30? And I said, yeah, I can. And she said, where? And I said, I'd like to see the house. And she was like, well, that won't work. Thursday at 5:30. I'm like, great. Point is, had she said yes tonight at 5:30, I had Gwen and I were meeting all yesterday morning to go over what this is going to look like. Right? I had a coaching session with Nikki. Then we had Top Golf. That was going to give me, if I didn't stay for the meeting after the meeting at Top Golf, which I always stay for the meeting after the meeting. Right? That was going to give me 2 hours to prep for the listing appointment. Now, I've been doing it 9 years. I got my listing appointment down. Right? But I still have to put time to prepare. I still got to come up with a CMA and idea what it's worth. Right? Things like that. So that's how you write the schedule. And this is what I believe is living a life by design and not by default. Because you just built your business around your lifetime. are you doing in your life that you want to do? Right? My Thursday mornings for myself are X'd out. My Wednesday night bowling league does not start until 8. We bowl 4 games. 9 times out of 10, I don't get home until 1:30 in the morning. I'm too old to get up and be working 8 on Thursday. Do it. So that's my protected time. However, I water, I'm protecting Thursday mornings. Right now, that may mean that I gotta work Sunday morning now to make up for it, and I'm fine with that. Again, it's my choice. I'm deciding not working Thursday morning. I'll work Sunday morning instead. And as the coaching program develops, you guys will all know, you can call Ricky pretty much whenever we have questions, as long as it's not before noon on Thursday. We'll call Gwen. Right? Gwen's gonna protect some time on Fridays. Right? That's how you build out your schedule. Right? The next step is figuring out what's the lead gen that you're going to do. Least to mention, if you want to be on Ryan's team, it's great. You're going to pound out 400 phone calls. You don't want to do that, don't go on Ryan's team. I'm not, as your coach, I'm not going to give you 400 phone calls. We're going to find out what are you going to do, right? What is it that you're going to do? What is it that you'd like to do that we can make into a lead generation opportunity? Moms groups, right?
That's good to know because I'm not really a phone or door knocker, right? And I was in next door, right? And it was like, I was noticing posts and they were like, door knocking is kind of dead and gone because people have cameras and they're worried about people knocking on the doors.
Yep.
They don't open the door.
Yep.
And they're like, we don't like to answer doors, people knocking on, did you run into that thing?
There's a way around that. And when the door knocking, the truck with the ring doorbells, that records you, you speak right into that.
Yeah.
And you leave a message and then you leave your door hanging.
Yeah.
You go.
Yes.
And you go, is that what's happening now?
Yes.
That is what you do.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I was wondering, because I was like, I don't want to go knocking on these doors if people are just so worried about it, but.
They're not. They're usually, they're the biggest issue you run into. What are you gonna sell them?
Yeah.
That, you
Yes.
don't want that. So you gotta flip that around, be like, look,
Quickly, you've got
yes,
0 time
yes,
to flip that around.
you have 3 seconds really about.
Yep.
And you basically are gonna talk about an open house coming up.
Yep.
You're a realtor, you have your realtor business, just wanna give you some information. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. And that's it.
good.
That's it.
Yeah, and I think what I'm good with is that kind of thing. If there's an
It's the
open
same
house in the
thing.
neighborhood,
Yes.
I would do that.
All you're doing is making contact, and it's
Yeah.
the same thing when I ran for office, there was this whole list of things you're supposed to do, no, you don't. Hey, I'm Dave, I'm running for Colorado House of Representative, check out my website, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, that's it.
Yeah, see, I'm good with that.
Is there
So if
anything
I'm
we
in
do
that
like a
neighborhood-
future office holder is to know?
And
Yeah.
How do
then
you feel about
it-
stuff?
it-
How do you feel
you
about
can
X or
usually,
Y?
you can usually gauge body language too.
Yes.
They come to the door,
100% true.
if they stay a little second after, whether it's real estate or
Yep.
whether it's politics, then that's when you go into that. If it's not, they just take your stuff, thank you.
And you just walk away.
That's literally it, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that once you knock or ring the doorbell, step back. Do not wait at the
Yeah,
front door.
yes, yes,
Move
yes,
6,
yes.
10, 15 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so that they don't feel
To
terrified. Like, if I open the door and your face is right there, I'm like,
Yeah.
no. If you're back, I'll listen to what you have to say.
Yep, absolutely.
I will. I may tell you I disagree 1,000%, but I'm not gonna close the door and feel like you wasted your time knocking on my door,
Right.
right?
So-
I'm not.
I guess what I was gonna say was, I know one of my strengths personally is, I've always been really involved in networking events, whether
Yep.
it's been organizations, I've done PTO organizations, I've done, South Metro Chamber of Commerce, so I
Yep.
was really involved in that when I had a small creative business years ago. I got a lot of business out of that, and so I'm gonna go do those things.
It's
I'm also
exactly what
gonna
you should do.
Go do some
You put together a business networking group.
right, and I've
Yep.
done those in the
100%.
past, and I got a lot of business out of that, so.
You'll get a lot of business out of it, yeah.
And I think that has been my strength, so I think I'm gonna just try that.
100%.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go do, I had a Zoom call with one of the member associates, last week, and so she's invited me to a couple of the events, so
Yeah.
I'll probably just register, go to one of the little Halloween events.
Absolutely.
And start getting involved in that, and then, I'm really looking forward to the one-on-one with you and Gwen. You guys are awesome.
Go to your local, they used to do it, I don't know if they do it so much anymore, since COVID, but you used to have, you go to your local bank,
Yeah,
and they would allow all their customers to pin up business cards on their.
yeah,
go pick up on one of all of them and invite them to a business.
You can do that at grocery stores. So-
Wherever they,
You can
yeah,
do that
wherever they
too,
put
yeah.
business cards, go collect 10 of them. Call all 10 and see if you get them to come listen. How can I, through my business, make your business bigger?
Yeah, so I've
Right?
had some of
Who's
those
the- Who's
conversations.
your audience, right? That's what I want.
Yeah,
And if
I've
they're
had-
a roofer or a plumber, let me know their audiences, right?
Absolutely, I had some of those conversations, I ran out of business cards already, and now I need some more, but I don't have a photo yet, so I need to get one of those too, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure there's a headshot thing coming up soon.
I think so, yeah.
Were you at Topgolf yesterday?
I didn't go,
Oh,
see,
okay.
I was injured like a few months back and my leg was really bothering me yesterday, so I wasn't able to go and I didn't want to be there like.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So.
And they made me walk up a flight of stairs and I'm, so.
Oh, so yeah, I would have been like, hi guys, how are you?
There was a woman there yesterday from Apex Title, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Her name was Sherry, and I just started talking to her and she told me, like, I thought this was a great idea. I don't use Facebook much, but I'm going to now. And she said, just type in the search bar networking.
Yeah.
And it'll
Oh, I'm
pull
on-
up,
yeah.
it'll pull up
So
Denver
many.
events. And she was
So
like,
many.
dude, you can go to any free event. It
Yeah,
doesn't
you
even
can.
matter if it has nothing to do with real estate. And I was like,
You actually
I'm on it.
want it not to have anything to do with real estate, because if it has to do with real
100%.
estate, who's showing up?
all the
Bunch of
realtors,
realtors,
all the
yeah.
realtors. That's what I
Go to the
did,
plumbing
and I'm on
conventions,
so
right?
many of the
Right.
networking,
Yeah,
right.
so many, and matter of fact, I'm on notary ones, I'm on all kinds of different,
You want an opportunity to meet people, be a notary.
yeah, exactly, I'm on so
Everybody
many
meets you notaries
different,
all the time.
I've
This
joined,
guy.
yeah, are you a notary?
yeah,
That's awesome,
Market that.
I've actually, yeah, market
I've heard that too from a
Yeah.
number of people.
I've joined so many of them, and I've actually signed up for all these different networking events, I'm going tonight, actually,
Oh, really?
to the View House, there's a cocktails, you wanna go?
I mean, I kind of.
No, he's a realtor, go.
Oh, my bad.
No, I mean, like, honestly, number one, I love you, house.
Yes.
You can totally
I
pick
do.
people up, no, just.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can do that, I'm
Hold
just
on one
saying.
second.
But anyway, all I'm saying is, yeah, I've registered for so many different events already and, yeah, there's a ton.
It's
and
crazy, like, I didn't,
The problem is that like, and here's the thing is that like, I'm on, Facebook, I jumped off Facebook years ago.
Same.
I hesitate to go back on.
I agree
It's
with
only
you.
5.
Because I don't like the drama, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And I've already had to have that and block people, and I hate that piece.
and
of
Meta
it.
takes all of your information and,
It does, and I've already had weird people, and I'm like, I don't like
I
that
am
piece,
too.
because I'm like, listen, it's business, not for.
yeah.
But the
Real
thing-
quick, we have 2 agents on Zoom too.
Okay.
This is Patrick Longans with,
Cross Country.
Cross Country, I still want to say Guild. With Cross Country Mortgage, he's our in-house lender. We can't legally have an in-house lender. So there's some stuff on the back end.
So yes,
But
of
he's our
course.
in-house guy. So Patrick does a lot for the agents in this market center. He does a ton of training. He writes checks to help sponsorship, right? So you guys, how many of you have a relationship with a professional relationship with a lender already?
Patrick, right, this
No,
guy right
Patrick.
here.
Not
Right.
yet, but I need one.
And Patrick will tell you, you need more
Patrick's
than
the
one,
guy.
right?
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to offer enough to keep crack off your butt and to offer services to your clients, right? So I told him to stick his head in, say hi, give you his spiel. I worked with him, he's fantastic.
Thank you. I've been in this office 7 years. Been in the business 20.
He got in right after he posed for the cover of Lucky Charms.
Yes. We're in here, we're gonna start being in here about 5 days a week. So I also have Eric who works on my team. He's a licensed loan officer. But we should be in here about 5 days a week. If you have questions, just come on over.
Talk about a guy that'll dial for dollars too.
Oh yeah,
He'll
Call
call,
in.
he'll be like, "Go make calls, let's make calls, let's make calls."
just, I'm on call number 50 something this morning, just calling old pre-approvals, seeing where they're at in their home search. I mean, bottom line is I'm very structured. I have a great follow-up plan. We'll do anything to get your clients under contract.
He'll send pictures of his feet if it'll.
If it helps, usually doesn't, so
God almighty.
stop doing that.
That'd be creative, man.
But I can pretty much guarantee you, if you're putting your clients through us, we're gonna help you make more money. We have more ways to get people approved. We follow up with them constantly. We edify you. So if Zach refers us someone, and the first question we ask is, how did you meet Zach? I said, I don't know. I clicked the button and he called me. It was weird. Feet pics. Yeah, you're right. Zach has the best feet, but you know what? He's also one of the best real estate agents in town.
He's got that really weird bunion.
So we're gonna edify you, right? You know, we're in this together. We do a weekly video to all clients. You know, we call our pre-approvals week to week. We call them after closing, 30 days after closing. I do an anniversary call. Our follow-up with your clients is probably better than yours. So a lot of times.
He's not even lying.
No, a lot of times we'll get referrals from them before you even hear from them. And then we always send those back to you, of course.
That's cool. And he keeps you and Eric overly informed of what's going on through the transaction. Where are they? Are they in underwriting? Where's the appraisal? All that.
Yeah. So I go pull up every referral Ricky's ever sent us. It's in my system. So if one of those clients ever comes back for some reason, we send that back to you. You know, I know Keller Williams. I've helped teach Ignite. I've done.
He's got his own very similar class to Ignite that he teaches too.
Yeah. So we.
He's fun, energetic. He's here and he cares.
Yeah.
So when you guys get your first buyer opportunity, please give him a call.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, the biggest issue facing buyers is affordability. So if you're working with a buyer, it's better right now to negotiate some sort of rate buy down from a seller. And you should be talking about this when you're meeting with buyers. If you ask a buyer, hey, what are your biggest concerns right now? They're going to say rate and payment, right? So there's ways you can help with that. So instead of going when your negotiation opportunities right now, probably not going to negotiate price as much. I mean, if you get someone to drop the price 25 grand, do you know how much that saves a client per month? Any guesses?
About $7 right now.
Oh, I was gonna say 475.
150 bucks.
Oh, 150.
So 25 grand, you're only saving them 150 bucks. Now, if you take that same 25 grand that the seller was willing to give up and do some sort of buy down, you could be saving them over $1,000 a month. Okay. So another thing that we try and do to add value for you is give you these kinds of insights so that you know what to talk about when you're meeting with your clients. We certainly talk about it. But that's the biggest thing right now. Like the only thing downside of buying a house right now is rates are high, but we can address that by doing these negotiations and getting them a better deal. So like right now, I'm calling all the old leads and going over this to try and show them the way, because I still think it's a good thing.
So it's always.
It is a good one.
Always.
Any questions?
Is there questions on anything you?
Yeah. Pop in, shoot me an email, my info's on my door.
You can come over and just stand and stare at him in the window.
Yeah.
It's sad eventually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes. I was like, whoa.
So it's not a so it's not a question, it's just kind of a props. I have a buyer working with Eric right now, and he's doing a relocation program that from CDOT that no one's really dealt with before. And we were able to do the whole pre-approval, and we were reading through it, and I asked them, I was like, do you have any questions for me? He's like, no, Eric did a really good job of helping me understand this. And I just wiped the sweat off my brow, be like, thank God I didn't have to answer any questions.
Yeah.
So
You really shouldn't, so thank you. We do a full consultation with the client. So just to give you an example, if a client calls up Rocket Mortgage is gonna give them a rate, a payment, and closing costs, and they're done. We do a full consultation, usually over Zoom, where we're sharing our screen, we're showing numbers. We're coaching them on, hey, don't go for price reduction, go for this. We're figuring out what their concerns are, and that it just helps you guys sell. So.
Now this one with Nikki's client, the guy was in a building that they're dropping to build an off ramp. So CDOT's relocated and giving him money for it, but he he can only spend the money to buy a place, right? So Eric's working through what that looks like. How does that transfer? When does it transfer?
Yeah.
How do we work with CDOT through the contract? It's kind of fun.
Yeah. If another lender says no, give us a call.
100%.
We got one of those yesterday.
If you guys get halfway through a deal and then the lender says no, call Patrick. He can put out a fire usually. You find a way maybe to get it done.
We do all types of loans. So we do VA, FHA, conventional, jumbo.
You guys do a bank statement loan yet?
We do bank statement loans. We do for investors. We do no income verification loans.
Are you guys doing jumbos?
We do jumbo.
I heard
With
some of the
5% down.
jumbos. I heard the jumbos are getting harder and harder to get now because of rates and such.
Jumbos are priced a little better right now. Jumbos are always more work.
Right.
They require more documentation usually, but
Well, that's why we both get paid more money.
yeah,
It's a little more work involved, right?
yeah.
Although as a general rule, not spill the beans, as a very large thumbnail, we make about twice as much money on a transaction as the lender does. So keep that in mind when you're working on your own,
That's very true.
right? And if they sell in 6 months, I still get to keep my commission. You don't.
No.
Did you guys know that?
I did not.
I had
no.
someone refinance after we did their loan, before they even made their first payment. And I wouldn't do the refinance. I thought it was a bad idea, but it cost me 21 grand.
If they touch their loan,
They
is it
pay
is
it
it
off.
FHA or conventional?
Both.
Oh, it is both
If they
now?
pay it off before they make 6 payments, we get pretty heavily penalized, so.
Yeah, and if they do that, we had got an agent in the market center, she's still here actually. She opened buy a house, she had no idea there's any issues with it, none, they are at the closing table, they close. They're done, it's their house, and they say, we ate it, can you get it on the market tomorrow, and she put it on the market the next day.
Okay.
That lender got screwed,
Yeah.
but that check hadn't even cleared yet, he was having to get it back. So, that's not, just keep in
There's
mind.
not
when you're-
much you can do. I mean, just don't be shady with it. Like being shady would be like, they're selling another house, I'm gonna pay off the loan and don't tell us.
But they have,
That's what
lenders
happens.
have access to information, to dark holes on the internet that we don't, they will find out. It just will.
But we have other loans, like if people only need a loan for a couple months, we have bridge loans and home equity loans. But there's a solution.
Are you guys doing HELOCs?
We do, yeah. I refer a lot of them out. It kind of depends on the situation.
I
You
got
guys
one.
are 7% right now.
Rates are, yeah, they're probably hovering around 7. But there's a program called a 3-2-1 buy down. Basically, the seller pays for the client to have a lower rate. So if rates are 7% and you get a 3-2-1 buy down from the seller, that first year their rate's 4%. Second year the rate's 5%. Third year the rate's 6%. I bet everyone's refinancing.
And like I
at
said
15.
earlier, now
Right.
when they get there,
You
now
think
you
so?
can look 3 years down the road at what? Right, because the property is gonna be worth minimum, this is what I tell my buyers, and I think it's conservative. Next year it's worth a minimum of 3% more the next year and the next year, right? So you've got an increase in property value, payment you can afford for the next 3 years, and then you can look at A, refi.
Yeah.
B, rates are 15 and you're happy as a pig in shit that you got 7.
Yeah.
Right? Or B, you're right on par with what you could get and you have the 3 years of growth.
Yeah.
So there's no reason it's not a good time.
And so if you guys have questions on that,
Yep.
if you see like marketing stuff from other lenders, if I'm marketing something, you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yep.
Give me a call. But that 3-2-1 buy down right now is the best thing going. Here's the other cool part about it. $600,000 home costs the seller 25 grand. So the seller gives the client 25 grand to get a reduced payment for 3 years. Anything they don't use, like let's say they refinance in a year and a half, there's still money they didn't use. They didn't use all that 25. It gets applied towards their mortgage balance when they refinance.
So
whatever's
that
left
basically
over.
just like sits in an escrow account and makes up the difference in the payment. I
Exactly.
did not know that's how that functions.
But the cool,
I got you.
the cool thing about that is you cannot go wrong. The reason I think it's better than a price reduction is price reduction is, hey, I'm gonna save money in the future when I sell this. I'll have more equity. This is instant, cannot lose. Here's 25 grand upfront and it's instant savings. So that one's really good. There's a ton of different ways to work it. So if you have a client that's like rates are too high, give me a call and I'll show you a couple.
You know,
things.
and one of the other things going on in our market now is for so long, we talked to the buyer and they're like, yeah, I'll jump in, I'll try them, and I know I'm gonna be one of 25 offers on every property. They got some selection now, stuff sitting on the market for a month. You should go pick a property for them.
19 days last month.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not,
28 Douglas County.
19 was all 11 counties, but that's still not that long.
But the sellers are offering more.
They have to, they're gonna sell their out.
Yeah.
And again, go develop relationships with financial planners and divorce attorneys.
Yeah.
And real estate attorneys that don't practice like they do probate, so they don't actually practice real estate. Okay, but a divorce attorney right now, everybody hate everybody right now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, call your divorce attorney that you use.
Yes. Done it twice. I've done it twice.
Network.
Fooled me once, right? All right, I hope everybody got
Thanks, guys.
stuff out of this today.
Thanks, Patrick.
Come back tomorrow, you'll get to see Tammy. She'll take you through step 2, or day 2, which is sessions 3 and 4. If you guys have any questions, my office is on the other hallway, Patrick, good evening. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
Ricky.
My pleasure.
Are you
All
guys
right.
staying for the?
Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm staying right here. Staying right
Hanging
here.
out right there.
I'm gonna stay right here.
But I'm gonna zoom it on the way.
I'm gonna zoom it on the way.
Yeah, you know, zoom.
That's what I was doing. I was zooming on the way to the doctor's office. Then I got there and I couldn't concentrate. He was like talking to me and I was like, all right, I gotta close this.
Sometimes Zoom is really hard to,
Yeah,
like, I don't know if I could participate in this class on Zoom. It would be very,
it was really difficult because I could just imagine them going, Melissa, okay, yeah, sorry, what?
yeah,
What's going
it's
on?
easier to be interactive, like,
Yeah, it is.
I mean, 4 hours is tough when you're 30, but.
Yeah.
you
Yeah, yeah.
Right when you're 52.
know, I get it, I get it. Hey, man, it was good meeting you.
Good meeting you as well, Matt.
What is your name again?
Melissa,
Melissa, Zach.
nice to meet
As
you.
well, how do you spell your name?
Melissa.
Oh, it literally wasn't any different than what he.
Yeah,
What's up, Sarah?
it was different on there.
Oh, because you said it was your husband's name?
Yeah.
That's fair. Don't worry.
So you're running for, what is it, you're running for Senate or?
Colorado House of Representatives.
Oh,
So
House
it's the state
Representative.
house.
It's the first time you're running?
Yeah, first time candidate.
Excited?
I am. I mean, it's been fun. I mean, no, I've been able to run as myself. I haven't had to change too much of who I am or
That's good.
which, everyone should do, right?
Right.
You should be authentic, but so many are not,
Yeah.
on both sides, whatever. They try to tell voters what they want to hear.
Right.
I was telling them earlier, I usually don't, like when I'm live or whatever, when I do Zoom, I don't talk about the party because that can,
Yeah.
infuriate people.
Right.
One way or the other. But typically, when you come into real estate, you're going to be more Republican typically. And so I'm running as very much of a moderate Republican, very much of a centrist. I get asked that a lot, what type of Republican am I?
Yeah.
A Trump Republican, that's what they're asking.
Right.
Didn't vote for Trump, didn't vote either time. That's not where I'm at.
Yeah.
I come from the military, I come from higher education, I'm very centrist,
Right.
very objective.
That's good.
But,
Yeah.
but it's more of an old school 70s, 80s Republican where, you didn't get caught in ideology.
Right.
You're pro-business, you're pro-law enforcement, you're pro-military, you're pro-energy, your energy conservation as well. Sometimes that gets overlooked,
Yeah.
a lot. Out here, when I talk about water and water scarcity, because that's a big issue with Colorado.
Yeah.
It's a big issue when it talks about, we didn't get into it, we touched on it a little bit, home accessibility, home growth,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. And they're looking at, should neighborhoods be allowed to be developed where there's no sustainable water source?
Yeah.
It's a legit question.
Yeah.
And, you want to make sure that you're not limiting growth because that drives up the cost of houses, which means housing is no longer affordable, it's not accessible,
Yeah.
so you got to balance that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great, it's, I was talking with Donna, she's on the Colorado Realtors Association, which
Yep.
is a lobby group.
Yep.
So I met with them last week and what was interesting, I had come in here to talk with Keller Williams, looking at different agencies. And I told them point blank, all the agencies I talked to, I said, look, I'm running for office. I'm looking for something I can get started with. I'll know by November 8th, one way or the other. If I win, the legislature is only for 4 months. It goes from January to May, and then you're kind of free. And so, but if I lose, I'll have all this time to be able to do whatever. And KW was all open with that. And so when I walked into the Colorado Realtors Association, there was like 8 people. Donna's sitting right there, which I'd already met. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And so then I decided to go ahead and join KW.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I'm a registered Republican.
Yeah, but most people who come into this business typically are
Yeah,
entrepreneurial,
Mindset, yeah.
typically, not always, but typically.
yeah,
If they're not Republican, they're very fiscally conservative Democrat,
yeah.
very much so.